fiduciary to help our clients reach their financial goals. I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update.
The Milwaukee Brewers look to continue their winning ways in the early parts of this season as they welcome in division foe, the St. Louis Cardinals, into town. Milwaukee looks to extend their 5-game winning streak with Brandon Woodruff slated to be on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:10. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks have officially clinched the top seed in the NBA playoffs, and they are looking to close the door on their regular season this weekend. Memphis comes to town tonight. Milwaukee did release their injury report on Thursday, which listed multiple starters as out for tonight's game, including Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. You can tune into full coverage over on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, beginning at 6:30. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
And from the WTMJ Traffic Center, we do have an accident, 794 northbound, right about at Oklahoma Avenue. It's off on the right shoulder. Looks like it's a car, and I think the squad just pulled away, so hopefully it's just a broken down vehicle now. But just something to keep in mind if you're heading through there. But volume has been super light all morning long.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
In your WTMJ 5-day forecast today, partly sunny, a chance of flurries or sprinkles later on, a high of 45 by the lake, 52 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 34. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a chance of flurries or sprinkles early, then a high of 52 at the lakefront, 58 inland. For Easter Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 60. Monday, partly sunny, slight chance for rain later on, a high of 63. And then on Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a high of 67. Right now in Madison, it's 36, Green Bay 34, Waukesha 35, and in Milwaukee, it is 39 degrees. I'm Debbie Lazaga, citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 909.
Breaking down the biggest stories, talking about what really matters, and bringing you the biggest forum to let your voice be heard. Now, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, here's Steve Scaffidi.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Friday show. It seems like I just saw you two guys, Bill McCoshen, Republican strategist, Joe Zepecki, Democratic version of such. Welcome.
Good morning. Complete with the ball cap.
That's right.
Like it.
Yeah. We all ignored the pastel.
Now everyone can see it. Apparently we're on video too, right?
Yes, you can catch us on the stream.
We didn't get the memo about the Easter pastels.
I wanted to surprise you. Well, I'm sort of dressed up, and you're doing what you usually do with the baseball cap. What's with the baseball cap? Do you wear it every day?
Bad hair day. My hair is too long right now. I'm getting it cut next week.
You mean like mine, where my wife yells at me to get a haircut?
No, my wife would never yell at me to get a haircut, but I'm not going to get one until Tuesday, week before our trip. So I'm just,
That's right. You got a big vacation coming.
We do. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Hat's very on brand for you, though.
Yeah.
Works. It works.
And it's celebrating the great success of our Milwaukee Brewers.
That's right.
The first place Milwaukee Brewers.
Yes,
the cardiac kids.
The youngsters. I love that story.
Kids.
All right, since we talked about the specific of the races on Wednesday, let's go big picture. Now, I know you, Bill, were talking with Reince Priebus.
I was on my drive over.
So what does he have to say about what happened Tuesday?
So Priebus's message was we got to focus on the mechanics. If you get beat by 10 or more, which Kelly did, then you probably have a candidate problem and or a messaging problem. I think he's right about that. But if it's close, then the party can make a difference. If it's what he says, if it's within a field goal, then the party can probably make the difference. This clearly wasn't close. But the mechanics on the Republican side have to get fixed. And we did talk a little bit about this the other day. Dane County and Milwaukee County are spectacular for Democrats, and Republicans have no answer. Those keep getting better. For Republicans, we have to do better in the suburbs, the Bow and the Wow counties. We talked about that. Racine, Kenosha. Sadly, we did worse in all of those counties in the most recent election, which means we have a messaging problem. We're not appealing to those suburban women anymore.
You and I were going back and forth on social media about the anger issue, right?
Yeah.
The extreme, and this happens on both sides of the aisle, But in this case, the folks who are still angry about 2020, they still want to be up in arms about everything that's wrong with our country, and that anger doesn't really parlay to winning elections.
It's wasted calories, right? We're not making progress with all the anger. We got to focus on the mechanics, doing those right, recruiting good candidates, funding them properly, and winning. I mean, it's about winning, and that's really what Reince's message was to me this morning is, you know, we have shown in the past we can win in this state, and we can win convincingly. For us, that's 53%.
Right.
You've now got 2 double-digit wins in the last 6 years, which is a 5-alarm fire for Republicans. It's time to do a little soul searching.
All right, so everything good on your side, I guess.
Well, nothing lasts forever.
Well, we know that.
I don't want to be a wet blanket, but as I'm listening to my friend Bill, you sound a lot like Democrats sounded in early 2017 when Wisconsin had gone red. Former President Trump had won the state for the first time. And listen, it focused the mind on our side. And we did a lot of innovating. We created some new vehicles and organizations. We really changed the way we do business. And in hindsight, the election of Donald Trump in 2016 was a black swan event that nobody saw coming. And, you know, if you ran that race 50 times, Donald Trump might run it 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And so, Republicans will figure it out, but they have 2 big problems: Donald Trump and the issue of abortion.
Yeah.
And you can make all of the infrastructure improvements that you want, but I just am of the mind that until there is more clarity on the issue of women's access to reproductive health care, and your party lances the boil that is Donald Trump, you're going to struggle. You're going to have a hard time.
Are we willing finally in the state to say it can't be Trump? Because I still get the sense there's a lot of people that want it to be Trump.
Well, what was appealing about Trump in 2016 was this America First agenda, and now it's Trump First. And I don't think that is appealing. It might appeal to 25, maybe 30% of our primary voters, but I think there's 70% out there who say, enough, we can't keep doing this. I mean, he sucked all the oxygen out of the air the final weekend of the election, this recent election. It wouldn't have changed the outcome. That's clear. If you win by 11 points, him getting indicted wasn't going to be impactful one way or the other. But the reality is, it's now about him, and it's this grievance tour, and this is the weekend of the resurrection, right, of Christ. It's Easter weekend. Very few politicians are resurrected from big losses, whether it's a statewide loss or, in Trump's case, a national loss. You'd have to go back a long way to find somebody who's come back from that.
Go ahead, Joe.
So who's going to blink first? Like, who in the Republican Party, either here in Wisconsin or nationally? Like, I'm sorry, I don't think Asa Hutchinson, former governor of Arkansas.
That's a joke.
I don't think Chris Christie. Like, who is
Christie could be helpful here, though.
Helpful, but what is this a thing that's going to happen very slowly and then all at once, where the Republican Party comes to their senses and goes, we haven't won a dang thing since 2016.
Yeah.
This guy is, poisoning the whole barrel, and it is all about him. We got to move on.
So let me explain the Christie thing. Christie actually was the guy who knocked out Marco Rubio and helped Donald Trump get secure the nomination. This is when we were down to 5 people out of 17. Chris Christie could play that same role against Donald Trump. Nobody punched back against Trump in our primary. They just, sat there in the fetal position and got their brains beat in until they were out of the race. That model clearly doesn't work. If Ron DeSantis ultimately is going to win this race, he's going to have to fight back, and he's going to have to fight back hard. And that'll earn him a lot of respect of those Trumpers.
Okay, so as Republicans, even in the state of Wisconsin, we've talked so much about beating each other up during the primary. Aren't you just talking about beating each other up in the primary for president?
We don't have any choice. Trump's not getting out of the way. So you got to beat him at his game. I mean, I said this on Wednesday. We're not very good at primaries. I mean, we burn each other's house down and then, hope that we can survive a general election. We've proven that model doesn't work.
In a 50-50 state, the house that is united is almost always going to beat the house divided.
100%.
And that's where we are right now.
You guys have done a nice job of sort of clearing the field. In the U.S. Senate primary, you cleared it at the end, but it was cleared nonetheless for Mandela Barnes. In this primary, you all but ignored Everett Mitchell, and Protasewicz easily won the primary and went on to a convincing win in the general.
But how do you clear the field when there's clearly these camps in Wisconsin amongst Republicans? They love Trump, they love Walker, they love Clayfish, and then there's this new group that says, might want to think about some new names.
What do they love about him? That would be my question. What do they love about him?
The anger, the bully, the political bullying. They love that.
It's not about owning the libs. It's about policy. It's about getting the policy
Come on, Bill.
right.
You know that in this market and elsewhere, we've been talking about owning the libs for like decades.
Oh my God!
But here's the thing, though. It's like we shouldn't pretend it's just Donald Trump. It is the Trumpism and the Trumpification of Republican politics. Every single day you see a different example of it. Yesterday, it was Tennessee, where
we're going to get to that,
right? That's not Donald Trump making that decision, but to me, that is a very Trumpification of the Republican Party, where they'd make the decisions that they did.
All right, after the break, I want to talk to Bill and you about some ways that the Republicans can kind of up their game. Because, in my opinion, I said this 2 years ago. We got to be better.
We got to be better.
Way better. You want to win some races, you got to be better.
I'll give you some recent examples when we come back.
All right, I love that. Bill McCutcheon and Joseph Pecky, our regular Friday chat about politics. You know where we're at, right here on WTMJ.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Analyzing the best of the diamond from every degree. Brewers 360. Your comprehensive look at all things Brewers, on and off the field.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up!
Hear from Brewers reporters, announcers, and members of the front office every morning on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45. It's Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Heiser Automotive. You know it. Roadside assistance for life. Easy sell for me, easy sell for you. Get the vehicle that you want to drive. You can do that at Heiser. You can go to all their great locations or Heiser.com. That's why they say every day, today's your day.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What keeps you up at night?
My box spring. It supports my mattress, prevents sagging, and gives my bed a little elevation.
You're a literal guy, aren't you?
Well, through Monday at Hasselus Mattress, you can literally get a free box spring with the purchase of a new Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest mattress, or take an equal amount off a new adjustable base.
Great. That's going to keep me up at night.
Open 9 to 9. Find a showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Attention, attention! More superheroes are needed. Current Electric is growing and hiring service and commercial electricians, solar panel installers, and customer service representatives. Current Electric offers 5-star tech experience with training, coaching, and support, along with competitive pay and benefits. Apply at currentelectricco.com/careers. That's currentelectricco.com/careers. Current Electric has been serving Milwaukee since 1983 and is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, looks like spring weather's just around the corner. This is Max and we're back with another joke of the week. Why was everyone so tired in April? They just finished a 31-day march. Back to the Steve Scaffidi Show.
I think Max is a little vacation tired there. He took it down a notch.
The kid's got talent.
He does.
The kid's got talent.
For me, it's the setup as much as the punchline.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He just says this stuff. It's not written down.
Like
He just says it.
I think in, how old is he?
7.
So
7.
I'm saying in 30 years, we're going to see that young gentleman hosting a New Year's Eve television broadcast.
So?
Right? I think he just could be that good.
I tell you what, he's been pushing me because I'll see him on Easter Sunday because he's coming up for the big celebration.
Or we'll be in our wheelchairs going to see him at the Riverside. He'll be live like Jerry Seinfeld.
In the next couple of years, he will have his own segment on the show.
Fantastic.
I'm sure he will.
I've interviewed him. He's a great interview.
Do I have to explain to you old guys now what a Nepo baby is?
Yeah, I know it. Come on. Nepo baby.
No, Max is a great, talented kid. I can't wait to see what the future holds for him.
He's always got a smile on his face. That's what I love about that young man. All right, Bill, so we're talking about healing the Republican Party. As Joe was saying during the break, maybe he'll just take the segment off. I've said it for a long time. We have to be better. We have to be smarter. We have to do what the Democrats did on the ground in Wisconsin. Smart strategies, better candidates who say the right things and don't blow up people that they're running against, like Jennifer Doro.
Right.
How do we do it?
Well, I think the three referenda, there were two on cash bail. That
those are wins.
They were massive wins. The two changed cash bail in the state constitution, and one was advisory about able-bodied people having to look for work in order to get public benefits. The two cash bail referenda passed by 67 and 68%. The able-bodied going to work to get benefits, 80%. And guess what? They passed in all 72 counties, including Milwaukee and Dane. So my point here is the Republican messaging works if you use it. Did anyone on this, any of your listeners, ever hear Dan Kelly mention the cash bail amendment? The answer is no, not once.
I had him on 3 times. He never mentioned it.
Never mentioned it, right? He missed an opportunity to connect with voters. I think the Republican agenda still connects with voters. I think that's why they're getting elected at the state level. I said that on Fox 58 the other day here in Milwaukee, and the number of trolls on the left went crazy over that. But the reality is, I think the referendum proved that when we talk about issues that voters care about, we win. When we talk about a single issue, which I've said before, in this case, in Kelly's case, it was the Constitution. Yeah, that's not connecting with many voters. And by the way, nobody ever knew Dan Kelly personally. There was no we didn't know any of the facts about him. I'm pretty dialed into politics. I don't even know if he's married and has kids. He never talked about any of that.
I think he's married.
You got to humanize yourself and then connect with them on issues. Republicans, when they won in 2010 through 2016, that's what they did.
So why did we Republicans nominate a candidate that was that unlikable over one that I thought was a pretty good candidate?
Well, gets to the tactics, but Democrats get some credit for that too. Don't forget, Better Wisconsin Together spent $2.4 million against Jennifer Doral because they believed she was the stronger candidate. You know what? They were right. She was the stronger candidate. So
almost Democrats, like Democrats are smarter than
Democrats. Yeah. Hey, listen, they spend their money. A lot of Republicans last fall said, well, how come they're spending all this money for Don Bolduc and these extreme candidates for statewide offices in a variety of different states? By the way, all of those candidates lost, every single one. So Democrats are flush with cash. They're spending it smartly. They're connecting with voters at least on one or two issues. And that's all it's taken.
All right, I don't want to ask you how you're going to fix Republicans'
I'm just going to offer a word of caution there. You sound a little bit like when Democrats said, well, we just got to talk about the issues. The people are with us when it comes to raising the minimum wage, right? And so you are right that there are issues where you guys have the majority when it comes to public opinion. It's a little bit deeper than that. And it's kind of finding that narrative. I agree with you that candidates need to talk about who they are, right? The way the information world works now, you have to be authentic, you have to be credible, and it's more about like finding the issues that bring that to life than it is saying, well, if we have 80% of the voters, they'll just follow us. It is more complicated than that.
So you like to talk about being on the side of the citizens, right?
Yeah.
What do Wisconsinites think about marijuana or abortion? All right, so Bill nailed it. We had these questions. Overwhelmingly passed.
Yeah.
So as Democrats, are you going to respect the will of the voters and say that's something they think is important?
So one of the things that I think the public is learning is that a lot of this is smoke and mirrors. What am I supposed to do with 80% of Wisconsinites think that able-bodied adults without children getting state benefits should look for work when that is already state law? What am I supposed to take away from that? Am I supposed to tell elected Democrats that they should be out there every day demagoguing on the fact that there are a handful of cases where people are leeching off the system and there's fraud, waste, and abuse?
Yeah, you focused on the advisory one. How about the ones that on bail reform?
The bail reform one where, for example, Mandela Barnes was running last year saying we need to reform cash bail. And it shouldn't just be whether you can write a check to get yourself out of jail. It should be whether you're a threat to the community. And 5 months ago, Republicans were spending millions of dollars suggesting that was a scary public policy idea. And now Republicans are all for it. And that's part of the broader thing is like you can get lost in a sea of information. And Republicans for a very long time were very effective at hammering on the couple of things. And now I think the public has evolved where they kind of see through some of this stuff. They're like, this is nonsense. This is not consistent.
Yeah, and let's go back to Trump for 1 second. As it relates to a segment of the population, the 18 to 24 voters, If you ask any kid on a college campus if they're a Trump supporter, they might say yes, but they would tell you they can never talk about that publicly on campus because it's viewed as racist, sexist, misogynist. Kids today view Republicans through the Trump lens, and that's not good for the Republican brand. That's why I think we need a break from him. I think we need to move on to something more appealing to young people that talks about issues that they can identify with and not about themselves. Right now, Trump's all about Trump.
Think about this during the break, and we're going to have to break for news after our partner breaks here. But Scott Walker's comments about the youth of America, he's obviously involved with them as part of his work now. What he said about, and the word he used, indoctrination. I want to get your thoughts on that. We'll take a break. News after that right here on WTMJ.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. Creative Planning is a wealth management firm that believes in a total approach to building wealth that includes taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other personalized elements. This approach allows you to receive advice that is aligned with your unique goals and always in your best interests. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com.
It's Easter weekend. Very special family holiday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Don't cook, relax, enjoy your family, and let the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant serve you. The Good Friday codfish fry is all you care to eat, and it's just $15.99. All other dinners, buy one, get one free. Order your favorite seafood, pasta, big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster. Any dinner on the menu, your second one is free. Free, free, even on Easter weekend. Desserts and ice cream drinks? Buy one, get one free. Saturday night, buy one prime rib dinner. You got it, get one free. The Fox and Hound sits in the Kettle Forest. It is magical. There's no other restaurant like it. Winners of the Top Choice Award for Fine Dining and Most Romantic Restaurant. The Fox and Hounds is just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The spring drive right now is beautiful. It is one of my favorite places. Reserve your weekend table for Easter. Do it now. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Happy Easter from the famous Fox and Hounds.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickard here to report that 4 out of 10 homebuyers paid over the seller's asking price last month in southeast Wisconsin, and 2 out of 10 paid $10,000 or more over asking. The good news is appraised values are generally keeping up with those over asking offers. Still, the most powerful thing a buyer can do to make their offer the most attractive in a multiple offer situation is to give the seller what we call appraisal wiggle room. No one really wants to pay over the appraised value unless they've already lost 5 or 6 offers, but it's a lot less scary than you think once your AccuNet loan consultant shows you exactly how you typically don't have to bring any more money to closing, and your payment will only increase by a few bucks. Appraisal wiggle room is like a good card trick. You really need to see it to believe it. If you're home shopping with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, upgrade today to an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. You'll also like our lower rates and lower closing costs. That's ACCUNET.com.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
We'll be back with Bill and Joe after the news. Our time here at WTMJ 931 from our Breaking News Center, Debbie Lazaga.
All right, thanks, Steve. Police body cam video would need to be released within 15 days under a measure being considered by the Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission. The proposal sets a deadline for critical incidents to be released to the public within 15 days and 48 hours for the family. The commission met last night and hopes to vote on the guidelines later this month. A police pursuit ending with a rollover crash overnight. Police saying it happened near 6th and Vine in Milwaukee. It's also unclear whether the driver was the only occupant in the vehicle. We'll give you more updates as we learn more right here on WTMJ. Tennessee's GOP-controlled House has expelled 2 of 3 Democratic members for their roles in a demonstration in favor of gun control following the Nashville school shooting. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Well, the markets are closed today for Good Friday. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. And from the WTMJ Traffic Center, we have actually a pretty good ride shaping up. We got one broken down vehicle on the ramp from 175 southbound to 94 eastbound in the Stadium interchange. The right shoulder is blocked, but otherwise everything else seems to be moving along just fine. Super light volume.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Stay healthy and happy for years to come at Harwood Place Senior Living with fine and casual dining, entertainment, a health clinic, and more. Schedule a tour today at harwoodplace.org.
And your WTMJ 5-day forecast today, partly sunny, a chance of flurries or sprinkles later on, a high of 45 by the lake, 52 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 34. Tomorrow, partly sunny, chance of flurries, sprinkles early, a high of 52 at the lake, 58 inland. For Easter Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 60. And then Monday, partly sunny, a slight chance for rain later on, a high of 63. And for Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a high of 67. Right now in Appleton, it's 34, McWanago 39, and in Milwaukee, it is 39 degrees. I'm Debbie Lazaga, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:33.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet is your one-stop shop for supplies at prices that help your hard-earned dollars go further, like 5-gallon pails of Farm and Fleet Premium Tractor Fluid or 15W40 Diesel Oil. Your choice, $59.99. Save on 2.5 gallons of Clean Def Diesel Exhaust Fluid. On sale, $12.49. 55 gallons also on sale, $249.99. All Apache sprayer hoses now 15% off. And visit us at the Midwest Horse Fair in Madison, Wisconsin, April 14th through the 16th.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Hi, it's Sandy Max of Wisconsin's Afternoon News, and guess what? I am embarking on my first adventure with WTMJ fans, and I want you to come along. Join me in October with Journeys Connect for the Beatles and more, an England adventure. We'll start in London, then visit Liverpool, Windsor, Oxford, Stonehenge, and more. Journeys Connect makes traveling easy with their unique experiences and take care of every aspect of your travel arrangements. For more information, email me at sandy@wtmj.com or call 847-606-6065.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
I'm here in studio with Makasha and Joseph Pecky. We talk so much during the breaks, I don't get ready for the next. I had to ask you guys what
you
I
were
was
born
talking.
ready.
Oh,
and you look so svelte now with your new diet.
You know, that 5 pounds made a big difference, did it?
I'd take it. I would take it.
I think my wife pretty much called me fat the other day. Oof. Have you ever done this? Has nothing to do with politics. I just feel like a bowl of cereal at 8 o'clock at night. Is that a bad thing?
No, I think it's a good thing.
Come on, that's
I'd prefer ice cream, but the cereal's okay.
I'll take ice cream too.
Listen, a bowl of ice cream is better than a bowl of custard.
Yeah, well,
there you have it.
They're both good.
You just validated that. Can
I'm
you
just
call
saying,
my
like,
wife and let her know that?
There have been times in my life where before I went to bed, I was like, I'm going to have a scoop of chocolate custard from Cops. And now it's like, no, that's...
I used to love, when I was younger, man, those turtle cashew.
Oh, man.
And then I looked one time.
It's like 1,200, 1,400 calories.
Or more.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I didn't get the small one.
No,
Trust me.
I never do
like
either.
You're literally just, that's your whole day's caloric consumption.
Yeah.
Anyway. We're not going to talk about that. So I was intrigued by what former Governor Scott Walker said yesterday. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but he essentially said that some of this shift to Democrats in Wisconsin, because he was obviously the guy for a long reign here in Wisconsin, is due to the indoctrination of young people.
I don't know if I agree with that. I'm not necessarily going to disagree with it, but from my vantage point, having a 23-year-old as my youngest child and a 15-year-old granddaughter, I would say that particular group or generation is sort of led by each other, right? So when there's it is sort of groupthink. I mean, they all sort of march in the same line. They say the same things, and if you're outside of that norm, you get ostracized really quickly. So I don't know if that's from indoctrination or just lack of homework. Do your homework and learn these things. And but it's on the Republican side, we got to do a much better job of connecting with these young voters, making them proud to support our candidates, making them want to energized and want to be out there working for our candidates. And right now we're not offering those types of candidates to attract those young voters.
And they also, I think, not to speak for them because they have their organizations, as does former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish with her 1848 project.
1848, yep.
So I understand the desire, and that's a smart thing. You want to get young people engaged, but the messaging has to be right, given it's not an old message. It has to be a new, fresh message to appeal to those people.
Oh, yeah. Sort of the owning the libs things doesn't work with young people. They're very sensitive, right? Need safe space. And I
Right.
say that with all due respect, but, that hardcore knock the other guy out isn't going to work with young people. You got to bring them along with sugar rather than vinegar.
Joe's got a smile on his face.
I would be careful in painting with too broad a brush. This is a generation of young people that has been defined and sort of come of age and become aware of the broader world during the age of Trump, in an era of mass school shootings. And rather than just go on social media and complain about it, I think you have to tip your cap, and that's why I wear one, so I can tip it frequently, to these kids who have taken to the streets, who charge into the halls of power in Tennessee and say, we want change. The March for Our Lives kids down in Florida. We see that. The level of civic engagement among the youngest group of voters, I think, is fantastic. I guess that's easy for me to say when the majority of them are voting for my side. But, buckle up, because it's
the
not
turnout improvement. Proves that point.
And,
right?
what we have done is created a generation of young people who voting is a habit.
It is a habit.
Right? And so, we have gotten pretty good at tactically, and we have, gotten a lot of these young people to vote in November and then in February and now in April. And each time they can feel good about it, and their side won and they made some change. And hey, a lot of those folks are going to now vote for the next 50 years. So
let's talk about the Tennessee example. But I'm going to kind of frame it this way. So if abortion was the driver for midterms and in some of the state elections, including ours this week, is gun violence, gun control, what happened in Tennessee where you stripped 2 out of 3 lawmakers for protesting with other people in the chambers, apparently, is that the next issue that propels Democrats to victories, in 2024?
It is a major issue that drives a lot of people who are Democrats, who are Democrat inclined, and younger voters. In my view, the story here is these gun laws are going to change. It is just a question of how long it's going to take. When you slice the opinions about gun safety and gun regulation, the youngest voters are overwhelmingly crying out for more to be done. And so as they age into their 30s and 40s and 50s and become the dominant force in American politics, these laws are going to change. It's just a question if they can push for those changes faster. And again, it's not they're going to take all the guns away. They're saying, if I'm in a classroom, a madman shouldn't be able to buy 7 high-capacity firearms from 5 different stores in 48 hours. We can find a way to stop that.
So just like abortion bill, is the strategy for Republicans, let's meet this now so it's not a huge problem in elections going forward. If we don't have an answer to this stuff, and again, I say this every time we talk about gun violence, the right number for people slaughtered in their classrooms, churches, concert,
Zero.
is 0.
It's 0.
There's no
Yeah.
acceptable number. There's no
Right.
price of freedom nonsense.
Right.
It's 0.
It's 0.
It needs to be.
Quickly on Tennessee, I think it was an overreaction by the Republicans. Censorship would have been more than enough, right? Did they violate the rules? Yes. But expulsion, that looks extreme, right? So I wouldn't have gone that far. But more specifically on the gun issue, it's not going to be the rallying cry here in Wisconsin until abortion isn't the rallying cry. And abortion will continue to be the rallying cry until the new Supreme Court makes a decision, which could come before the end of this year.
And just real quick for listeners, because the Tennessee stuff was late last night. 3 Democratic lawmakers were from the floor of the chamber sort of encouraging and going back and forth with protesters in a gallery calling for gun reform in the wake of the school shooting in Nashville. 2 young African-American legislators, 1 older white woman who was a legislator. All 3 came up for expulsion yesterday, and the 2 young black men were expelled, and the older white woman was not. The optics of that, how can you be so short-sighted?
I completely agree on that.
Well, and my side's explanation was, well, she apologized. They didn't. Well, that doesn't work. The optics are horrible for Republicans. It should have been censorship across the board.
Real quick on this, because we got to get to break, but there has been some conversation about the impeachment powers of the Senate's in regards to Janet Protasewicz. I heard Dewey Strobel made some comments yesterday as well. That's not a real thing.
It's not.
I know they have the power to do
potentially have the power. It's not a real thing as it relates to Janet Protasewicz because you can't, under Wisconsin law, recall or impeach somebody until they've been in office for a year.
Right.
She won't even be in office until August of this year. So the first time they could consider it would be August of next year, where they will already be out campaigning for the 2024 cycle.
But the name that's mentioned is District Attorney John Chisholm.
Well, they may have that power, and they may explore that power. If things don't get better in Milwaukee County on the catch and release side, they may consider that. And that probably is something the public would support.
Am I wrong?
But
This hasn't happened since like the 1800s.
I think it's 1870 was the last time it happened.
Last time I checked, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Any comments there, Joe?
I hope my Republican friends are heeding the lesson that voters continue to send. They got to stop with this nonsense, this knucklehead stuff, work with people, don't do the politics of the moment and win the news cycle, and outrage, is the name of the game.
Am I in your Republican friends' circle of trust?
No, I think there's a genuine independent inside of you dying to get out, and I'm here every week to try to coax that independent out.
I just go by my voting record, and it's typically with the ones with the R afterward. That's how I judge
Typically.
that.
There's
all
room.
The rest
There's
of it,
room.
All the rest of it is just noise.
Yeah.
That's how you voting trends. All right, so Bill McCosh and Joseph Pecky. Boy, we spent a lot of time, and we still have like 10 topics. Are we going to fit it all in? I don't know, but
We might. Speed round.
Quick break.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution. I just finished writing a book about my experiences dealing with the IRS. It is already a bestseller. The IRS is the most ruthless collection agency in the world. They can seize your bank accounts, garnish your wages, and even take your house. The state can deny your professional license as a teacher, nurse, or other occupation. Do you want your employer to know about your problems? My book tells you what you can do so you don't have to worry about them ever again. Don't bury your head in the sand and hope the problem will go away. It will only get worse unless you step up and do something. We can help. We help reduce or eliminate penalties, negotiate payment plans, and represent you in tax audits. Make the right choice and go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Advent. I've talked about it. Snoring issues, tossing and turning. I was waking up constantly. No longer the case. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I went to Advent, one of their great facilities. I met with 2 of their doctors on the first visit, and they put me at ease. They did a really simple sleep study at home in my own bed, determined the root cause of my problem, sinuses, nasal passages, and my breathing triangle. They did a short procedure in office, about 45 minutes, back to breathing well. My wife and I are sleeping through the whole night. I had one of the best nights of sleep last night that I've had in a long time. It was fantastic. That could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. Find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better. Go to adventknows.com, schedule an appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
We're looking for that ear-to-ear smile, so we'll do everything in our power to make sure you have one. It's the Semper Fi standard, and we just couldn't do business any other way.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhart Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhart Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhart.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spirit wear is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spirit wear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spirit wear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhart.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
We are joined, as we are most Fridays, by Bill McCoshen, Republican strategist, and Joe Zepecki on the Democratic side of the aisle. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because it's a circus, and I don't really like circuses, and I really don't like clowns.
See what I did? Afraid of clowns? We've identified one of Steve's phobias.
I am afraid of clowns.
Really?
Quick story, because I know we're pushed. I was in an elevator of clowns in Kansas City. I was on a work trip, and it was a convention. And they were in full costume. Some of the meanest people I've ever met in my life, and I was surrounded by them, so I couldn't do anything about it. Terrifying.
Close to ever came to a panic attack, probably.
Scary.
That was 15 years ago, still in my head.
Seared in his mind.
All right,
clearly.
Well, can I ask the question? So when we talked about this last week, Bill, your prediction was that the case was so flimsy that Bragg was bringing that it would be dismissed. Do you still believe that to be the case now that the world has read the indictment?
I believe it more so today than I did last Friday.
They're going to pursue it, absolutely.
He has taken the indictment off his own website, Alvin Bragg. What does that tell you? He doesn't want
Are we sure
more
it didn't
people,
crash from all the people
more
reading it?
people to read it. You can't find credible lawyers who think it's a good, solid case.
Felony case. Because
Yes,
he's dead to rights on the 34 misdemeanors.
Accounting errors, yeah. Will
Which
there
has
be a
been
penalty on some of those? Yes, I'm
which has
sure
been
there
prosecuted
will be.
700
but there is no
times this year.
felony here.
So
and I'm not defending the president, but I'm more so judging Alvin Bragg for over prosecuting this case when 52% of the violent criminals in the city of New York, he pleads down from felonies to misdemeanors. So in this case, he flipped the narrative and went from misdemeanors to
trying to
felonies.
get the former president to plead down to a misdemeanor or 34.
You're giving him too much credit. I think it's all
There's no
political.
debate their crimes were committed, it seems like.
Bookkeeping crimes, yeah, for sure. White-collar crimes.
So here's the problem, though. You have a defendant who loves attention, and you have a judge apparently who loves attention as well. That's not a good scenario for justice, in my opinion. It seems like kind of a joke.
Yeah, maybe we should not bring the cameras to any more of these things and just let them
I'm
work
fine
it
with
out
that.
behind closed doors.
Man,
right?
These
are distractions that don't help Republicans.
If there's a three-legged stool, this being one of them and the other ones being, and there's more than that, I know, but Georgia and the Department of Justice investigation.
And classified documents.
Yes. This is like the least of my concern. So are we going to see something happen on those things, or is this just all
Well, sadly,
get
the next court appearance is December 4th.
Yeah, so you're not at all concerned by the notion that 2 days after the Access Hollywood tape.
No, I don't like it. I don't like the behavior.
And the fact that they were saying, and apparently they have it in text messages, not just witnesses, saying, try to put off paying this money until after the election because then it doesn't matter. This is not black and white, cut and dried. It's just business bookkeeping. They are talking about electoral prospects and how to win a campaign.
I said I don't like it. It's just not a felony.
So
the FEC would have come after him if they thought there was a campaign.
Yes, the mighty FEC that is always bearing down on presidential campaigns.
All right, I want to get through these things. We have so many topics. Like 2 hours today. No, just kidding. Clarence Thomas. Should you be taking expensive trips on some big Republican donor's dime while you're a U.S. Supreme Court justice?
Is it impacting any decisions he's making?
That's
Are they
not
friends?
what the standard is, man. That's not why financial disclosure forms exist.
Oh,
What is
man.
the standard
I
in your
think
mind?
he's been a target of the left for some time. They're
That's
trying
true,
to force him out. It's
on
never
this
going to
one.
happen.
So
he's going to die in that
And
seat,
so
Joe.
what Bill won't say on this air, but I know to be true. If Bill was advising a politician who is particularly in the sights of the left, you would say
that a gun reference?
Double check everything, be beyond reproach. They're going to come after you for even the appearance of impropriety, so you got to lock your stuff down. You got to disclose everything.
If I was his clerk, yes, that's what I would tell him.
And so
I can tell you, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
It is long overdue that there is a judicial code of ethics that applies to the United States Supreme Court. It just has to happen.
You expect that to pass the halls of Congress?
In the next 5 years, yes. When you look at between after Scalia passed and the stuff that McConnell pulled and the politicization of our courts, it has to be done. I don't know what combination of who's going to be in power is going to do it. There has to be ethics rules for Supreme Court justices.
Maybe they can attach it to the thing about investing in where your decisions in Congress affect your investments. Maybe that'll be part of that.
That'd be great.
Well, we need that for sure. We absolutely need that.
Some ethics reform, not all the ethics reform.
We'll take it. I'm all for transparency.
Stop speaking for everybody
I'm all
else.
for transparency.
Joe jamming words into our mouth. Joseph Pecky, Bill McCoshen, grab bag after this.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Hey, it's Steve Scaffidi from WTMJ. I've got some fun and exciting news to share with you all. For the first time ever, you can download my show wherever and everywhere you get your podcasts. That's right, Apple, Google, Spotify, and so much more. Just get on the app, hit play, and tune in to me when I talk about all that really matters. Like this. If you don't like NFL football, what's wrong with you? Please, people. And of course, this. There's nothing funny about this stuff. Crime in Milwaukee, funny? I don't think so. Keep up with me and all things that matter wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, Dennis from White Lace Inn here in beautiful Door County. White Lace Inn has been providing gracious elegance, sincere hospitality, and relaxing getaways since 1982. Wander garden pathways that connect each of the 4 Victorian homes, 18 rooms and suites that make up White Lace Inn. White Lace Inn is just minutes away from restaurants, museums, shopping, hiking, bike trails, and all of Door County. When evening comes, return to White Lace Inn, relax in front of a romantic fireplace and step into an inviting whirlpool bath for 2. Then climb into a luxurious bed for the night. The next morning, enjoy a delicious White Lace Inn breakfast, served with Door County coffee. White Lace Inn, consistently voted one of the most romantic inns of America. Whether it's a relaxing getaway, birthday, anniversary, honeymoon, or small destination wedding, amazing memories are waiting you at White Lace Inn. Open every night of the year. To find out more, take a tour at whitelaceinn.com. That's whitelaceinn.com.
Now through April 9th, visit Campers and RV for our Mega Motorhome Markdown and shop 739 new motorhomes priced up to 40% off. For a limited time, enjoy up to $15,000 in rebates with full factory warranty. Visit Campers and RV for guaranteed lowest prices today. Inventory subject to availability. Prices and promotions may vary. See dealer for details.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickard here to report that 4 out of 10 homebuyers paid over the seller's asking price last month in southeast Wisconsin, and 2 out of 10 paid $10,000 or more over asking. The good news is appraised values are generally keeping up with those over-asking offers. Still, the most powerful thing a buyer can do to make their offer the most attractive in a multiple offer situation is to give the seller what we call appraisal wiggle room. No one really wants to pay over the appraised value unless they've already lost 5 or 6 offers, but it's a lot less scary than you think once your Accunet loan consultant shows you exactly how you typically don't have to bring any more money to closing, and your payment will only increase by a few bucks. Appraisal wiggle room is like a good card trick. You really need to see it to believe it. If you're home shopping with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, upgrade today to an Accunet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. You'll also like our lower rates and lower closing costs. That's ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show.
Before we get to grab bag, text line loves you guys today. I know people are just in a good mood or you're really
it's
on
Good
point.
Friday.
Yes, that must be it. But whew, a lot of love, which is nice.
Yeah.
On a Friday, especially Good Friday. All right, grab bag, you're up first, Bill.
I'm going to give you a hat trick of them. 3 quick ones. To those who celebrate Easter, have a blessed, happy Easter this weekend. Shout out to Dan Knodel, who did win on Tuesday night. Yes, it was a Republican seat, but he was swimming against a pretty heavy current at the top of the ticket, with Anna Protasevich winning by 11 points. Dan Knodel pulled out a 2-point victory, gave the Republicans a supermajority again in the state Senate. Congratulations, Dan Knodel. And my last one is Shout out to Annalise Bergman. Annalise Bergman is a young female goaltender, 17 years old. She will start in goal tonight for the Janesville Jets at the Janesville Ice Arena. She will be the first female to start in a junior hockey game in the United States ever. And it's going to happen at the Janesville Ice Arena tonight.
Breaking news? That's awesome.
Well, all 3 Madison TV stations covered it. It's pretty cool.
And what was her name again?
Annalise Bergman from Troy, Michigan.
Bergman from Troy, Michigan. Well
She will
done.
be an Olympic goalie at some point.
I love that story. That's hard to beat there, Joe.
That's awesome. I can't beat it. I'll do 3 as well then. We didn't get to Trump calling outright for defunding the FBI and the DOJ. One to watch. He continues to cause problems for Republicans. Oh my God, I'm forgetting them now because it was 3. Oh my God.
While you're thinking, I could say he appointed Chris Wray, right?
Yeah. Last week, you may have missed it in all the election talk. Tony Evers signed bipartisan legislation to go after reckless driving in Milwaukee.
Kudos.
This is getting results. It's making it easier to get those vehicles and those drivers off of the road. And speaking of gender and sports, I think a pretty reasonable compromise from the Biden administration in a decision around, a recommendation around Title IX that basically said you cannot categorically across the board ban trans kids from participating in sports. You can take it case by case, and I think that is a reasonable compromise. Why do I think it's reasonable? Because I think people on both the left and the right are hopping mad about it. And that is sometimes what responsible leadership looks like, is saying you can't just say this is the overall policy. You can look at these case by case.
Well, you could say that, but
you could, but I don't think you should. And I think in this case, a reasonable middle.
Joe Zepecki, Bill McCoshen, happy Easter to both of you.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
We'll
Go
talk to you
Brewers.
tomorrow.
We're going Sunday.
Enjoy the game on Easter.
Yep.
Remember
with the
that
whole family.
Sixto Lascano? Wasn't that the big day, Easter Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Maybe I'll have a replay of that. All right. News is next right here on WTMJ.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
You are a guaranteed winner with Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for your home's beauty and defense. Siding Unlimited is siding, of course, but so much more. Windows, roofing, decks. Siding Unlimited is recognized as the MVP in all those areas by customers and suppliers alike. You want major league work done on your house, so start by contacting Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
If you're looking for the finest of furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Veterans benefits denied? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to taybackattorneys.com.
It's a new year, but this time Yanni and Pujols won't be here to save you.
Deals again to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! He just hit one out of here with the bases loaded.
Our Brewers Cardinals series coverage starts tonight at 6:35 on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
10 o'clock, we have 39 degrees, partly sunny today with a chance of flurries, maybe sprinkles later on. High 45 by the lake, about 52 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Overnight, a police chase and a rollover crash. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo has more from 6th and Vine in Milwaukee.
We're right near the scene, and things are quiet now. The road is back open, but there's broken branches and 2 trees that were nearly uprooted completely after this crash. Now, we still don't have any details yet on who the driver is or their current condition.
And it's not clear if the driver was the only one in the vehicle. Tennessee Republican leaders deny race was a factor in the expulsion yesterday of 2 black legislators from the State House, sparing a 3rd white lawmaker. At a news conference in Nashville today, State Representative Sam McKenzie, chair of the Tennessee Black Caucus of State Legislators, says the optics don't look good and predicts the 2 men will return through appointment or special election.
My charge to this establishment is to seat them immediately. The people voted for them, and they need to take their rightful positions back.
Democratic Representative Gloria Johnson, whose white survived after the vote to expel her failed to receive the required two-thirds majority. Hundreds of protesters gathered at the state capitol yesterday in support of the three lawmakers who joined demonstrators just days following the March 27th school shooting in Nashville. It's said to be the first partisan expulsion in the state's modern history. House Republicans issuing the first subpoena in their investigation of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office that brought charges against former President Trump. House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan of Ohio subpoenaed former Manhattan DA prosecutor Mark Pomerantz to testify before the committee. Pomerantz resigned from the office over Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's initial reluctance to go forward with the case against Trump. Jordan said his public statements about the investigation suggest the prosecution of Trump is politically motivated. Milwaukee police have released body camera footage of the night Officer Peter Jerving died.
Terrell, don't make us run.
The footage shows the foot chase and confrontation between Officer Jerving and his partner and robbery suspect Terrell Thompson, who was suspected in the robbery of a Nissan Versa on the city's north side. The two officers then confronting Thompson on the south side, with a foot chase turning into a close-quarters struggle. Gunfire erupting after Thompson drew his weapon and shot at Jerving, who was arriving to assist his partner with the arrest. After Jerving called it in, he and Thompson shot each other during the struggle multiple times. Both died of their injuries. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Office of Rural Health reports more than 40% of EMS agencies throughout the state had service gaps in the past year. WORH's James Small tells WISC TV News.
Just within the last week, I've seen data where ambulances were brought from as far away as 30 miles away to handle a 911 call, which took over an hour to get an ambulance on scene.
To address the problems, the WORH report recommends the state implement recurring and sustainable funding sources for operations and training. Today, of course, Good Friday, Pope Francis will sit out one of his originally scheduled outdoor events. ABC's Marcus Moore has more from Rome.
Instead of being at the way of the cross procession to the Colosseum, he will actually watch that procession, follow it from his home, from his residence, but it's because of the cold weather that is expected tonight.
The Pope was released from the hospital for bronchitis treatment a few days ago. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
What's the way to build your wealth?
I want to talk about annuities and variable life insurance policies. And I'm going to come right out and say that I've never been a fan of either. In fact, in over 30 years, I have rarely recommended annuities to clients. And in that same time, I've never recommended a variable life insurance policy. Now, it's always a matter of opinion, and there are two sides to every story. I just want to make sure that you've heard both sides for both options. So if you're looking at those types of products, give us a call, because it's prudent to hear all sides. At the very least, we can give you the pros and cons and help you make a good decision. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Wheel and Sprocket is celebrating 50 years of helping folks enjoy their ride on bicycles. Shop any of our stores right now during our 50/50 sale, because all bikes are on sale at the best prices of the season. Find us at the store in Bayview, Brookfield, Franklin, Fox Point, or Delafield. And of course, online. I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket, and there's a brand new bike here with your name on it.
Wheel and Sprocket, enjoy your ride.
If you're going to purchase a new bike anyway, then why not shop our Wheel and Sprocket stores right now during our 50/50 sale, because all bikes are on sale at the best prices of the season. Find us at the store in Bayview, Brookfield, Franklin, Fox Point, or Delafield. And of course, online. Come on out to Wheel and Sprocket and pick yourself out a brand new bike. And enjoy your ride.
Wheel and Sprocket, enjoy your ride.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update.
Milwaukee Brewers look to continue their winning ways in the early parts of this season as they welcome in division foe, the St. Louis Cardinals, into town. Milwaukee looks to extend their 5-game winning streak with Brandon Woodruff slated to be on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:10. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks have officially clinched the top seed in the NBA playoffs, and they are looking to close the door on their regular season this weekend. Memphis comes to town tonight. Milwaukee did release their injury report on Thursday, which listed multiple starters as out for tonight's game, including Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. You can tune into full coverage over on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, beginning at 6:30. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
From the WTMJ Traffic Center, pretty typical drive times this morning. 94 eastbound from the zoo to downtown, about 7 minutes, and 43 southbound from Brown Deer Road into downtown, 11 minutes. 43, 94 northbound from Layton to downtown, running about 7 minutes this morning.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast: a few clouds this afternoon, some flurries and sprinkles, but mainly off to our north. We'll see highs in the low to mid 40s by the lakefront and inland low 50s. Tonight we fall to 34 under partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning becoming sunny late, a high 52 by the lakefront, but inland spots upper 50s. More sunshine on Sunday. Everyone will see 60 degrees. Monday, mostly cloudy skies with the chance for a few showers late, a high of 63. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, but 67. I'm meteorologist Marissa Walls with your Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now in Madison, 37, Green Bay, 35, Milwaukee, 40 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Breaking down the biggest stories, talking about what really matters, and bringing you the biggest forum to let your voice be heard. Now, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, here's Steve Scaffidi.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 10 o'clock hour, Friday edition. Thanks for all the texts during the hour with Bill McCoshen, Republican strategist, and Joe Zepecki, Democratic strategist. Somebody just made a comment about the civility demonstrated by those two men. It's one of my favorite hours of the week. It is a demonstration, because these guys are connected on their side of the political aisle at the highest level in the state of Wisconsin. Those are voices that we should be listening to. That's why they're together. That's why they're on my show. You can be angry, sure. You can be whacked out of your mind about taxes and any other issue, abortion, gun violence, whatever it is. But you can also demonstrate on a fairly frequent basis. We had the gentleman on both Wednesday and Friday this week. That you can have these conversations and at some point get to a reasonable, rational decision. And I said this on social media last night. For too long, we are letting the crazies run our parties, run our politics, run our states, and run our countries. And you can assign that to any political figure you'd like to. Most of us know who those are. But at the end of the day, getting to solutions requires people to put that anger and that baggage aside and say, what works best for the people we represent? So when I hear politicians say that their number one priority is vax injuries, that's not taking seriously your duties. Or if I hear one more person talk about Donald Trump from a winning perspective, oh, he might win the primary. He might be the candidate for Republicans. Let's just put it this way in real crude forms. Ain't no way he's winning the election for president in 2024. You can disagree. You can call me and tell me why. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. Same guy that's predicted almost every race in Wisconsin, including the last one for president, on this show. Because what I do is I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That is the difference. All right, enough self-congratulations. Let's do something fun here. So yesterday, I had the pleasure, and I heard all these things about Joey Chestnut, competitive eater, hot dog eating champion, 4th of July. Guy packs with 70 hot dogs with buns. Are you serious? So he was in the building yesterday. He made an appearance on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And I had a chance to talk to him after, and I found him to be like really nice guy. We actually had lived when we both lived in California, not too far from each other. So he was in Milwaukee yesterday for the Qdoba World Burrito Eating Championship, Deer District. And I think he ate 14 and a half, something like that, 1.5 pound burritos. I held one in my hand. That's a full meal for me. And I may not have been able to eat the whole one. It's like trying to think of the equivalent. let's just say it was a lot of food. And he packed away 14 and a half in 10 minutes. So I thought, how can we have a fun show poll? I put it up on Twitter, of course, 620 WTMJ or WTMJ Steve. Give me a follow if you could. And I just asked the question, what could you eat 14 of in 10 minutes? Now, somebody said M&Ms. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could eat 14 of them in 5 seconds. So I get the humor of that. So I just gave you a few examples. Now, the one that Joey Chestnut, of course, is famous for is the hot dogs. So apparently 9% of us think that we could eat 14 hot dogs in 10 minutes. You think that's right? That's a lot of hot dog. I was telling my wife this last night. It's not just the hot dog. It's the buns. So imagine in your head, you're holding up a pack. I think they come in 8 packs, which is weird because I think hot dogs come in 6 packs, but whatever. And you're gonna have almost 2 of those, just the buns, and then you throw the meat in. Okay, so hot dogs 9%. And if you're not on Twitter, you can vote on the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620. Meatballs. Now, depending on where you go, like Santino's Little Italy in Bayview, that's a big meal. 14 of those suckers. But you can go to other restaurants where they're kind of tiny. So almost half of you said meatballs. I could do that. I don't know if I could put down 14 Santino's Little Italy meatballs, but I could certainly give it a shot. Here's one I thought was fun. I seriously think I could do this. I could eat 14 or 14 and a half donuts in 10 minutes. Because they're light. Like, they're kind of light. I wouldn't want to because the sugar on that would be absolutely insane, but I could eat 14 donuts. I'm not going to, so don't worry about it. The fascinating thing about this show poll, though, and as I said, you can weigh in the Old National Bank talk and text line if you don't have the twits. And I know a lot of you don't, and that number gets smaller every day. Just tell me, what would you eat 14 of in 10 minutes? And give me something that's substantial, not like somebody said pistachios. And I looked, and I got 25 comments on this thing, so I just want to just go through these. Cheese curds, easy. No one have a problem with that. How about bacon wrapped mini hot dogs? I could do that in 5 minutes, easily. 14, you kidding me? Mark said pistachios, that's easy. Tic Tacs, that's, come on, let's be serious. Joe from Atlanta, not much of a power eater here. I could probably only finish 14 potato chips in that time. Come on, Joe, you lightweights. I could put 14 potato chips down in like 30 seconds.
Did anybody put chicken wings?
No, not yet. Oysters? Oh, I didn't know about that one. I like oysters, but not 14. Grapes? Easy. M&M's? Easy. How about this one, Tony? 14 cobs of sweet corn. I don't think logistically that's possible. There's no way you're jamming all those kernels. And then, yeah, imagine what that's like.
Yeah, no thanks.
24 hours later or less. Julie, M&M's. Not a fan of eating contests. Pretty disgusting. They are disgusting. Jeff, soft-shelled tacos. Yeah, I could probably eat half. 7. Nah, no problem. Jill, I think when food is so expensive, this is really a sin. Jill, who hurt you? This is a fun question. It's not a serious question.
Lighten up, Francis.
Yes, or Jill in this case. Almonds? Come on. That's easy peasy stuff. Now, Tim's thinking what I'm thinking. 14 cousin subs. I love Cousin Subs, great partner here at WTMJ, but there's no way I'm eating 14 in 10 minutes.
That's a lot.
That is. He goes with the spring mix, mayo, bacon. He says 14 Butterburgers he could do. There's no way you're eating 14 Butterburgers from Culver's in 10 minutes. No. Here's another easy one. Girl Scout cookies. I could pound a whole sleeve in a couple minutes, easily. Give me a glass of milk, maybe 2 minutes. One of the tweeters said it, we are a disgusting country. There was really one that was really took it in the wrong direction. I want to see if I can find that one quickly. He was like all negative. I can't find it. Let's see what the text line says. Old National Bank talking text line. Bacon wrap poppers. Donuts, yes. Donuts, yes. And you wonder why we have an obesity problem. Actually, Joey Chestnut, I looked it up. 6 foot 220. He actually looked pretty good, pretty healthy.
I wonder how that works, though.
That's what I'm curious about.
I thought about that yesterday.
Walk me through where all that stuff goes and how that process goes.
That has a lot of carbs. A lot of carbs.
Yeah, and I think he works out too. I mean, you'd have to, right?
He's got to. He doesn't look like he's an eater.
He says he eats a lot of fiber the next day to kind of keep, as he said, keep things moving along. I don't know. It just seemed interesting to me. Candy bars, easy. Come on. Donuts get a lot of love. Steve, if you take a look around you and recognize the problem we have with obesity in this country, I'm pretty sure that 80% of people here could eat 14 hot dogs. I still think that's a lot of hot dogs. I don't know. I mean, the hot dog part is not the thing. It's the bun. Who wants all that bread? I could probably eat half a dozen brats if I really put my mind to it. But again, I'm not advising you to do that. All right. We'll take a break from that. Lots of other things we'll talk about. We'll get to all of that and more. And don't forget virtual baseball, sponsored by Siding Limited, coming up at 10:35, the debut for 2023. We'll need 2 contestants, 2 players, 2 lucky folks who have a chance to win not only a WTMJ prize package, but a chance to be in the monthly drawing for a $500 gift card. All I do is give.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Start planning for your retirement today so you enjoy retirement tomorrow. Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 7, where Tony Drake and his Education First team discuss retirement trends, taxes, inflation, and Social Security benefits to help you achieve a more secure financial future.
Join us this week as we discuss market volatility and ways to protect and ensure your retirement savings.
Retirement Ready with Tony Drake on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Badger Fence. I love my new fence. Got it a couple years ago. Beautiful, new cedar fence. Everybody talks about it. Still in fantastic shape. Badger Fence has been installing high-quality, durable fences in the Milwaukee area, Metro Milwaukee area since 1945. Proud member of the Better Business Bureau with an A-plus rating, as well as a member of the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. If privacy, security, and a wide choice of fence styles are top of mind when you choose your fence for your property, then Badger Fence is the right company. Licensed, bonded, and insured, using the finest materials in the industry with more than 75 years of experience, Badger Fence knows that premium fence materials, design options, and affordability all play an important role in your overall satisfaction with your fence project. So whether you want wood, which is what we chose, ornamental, chain link, or even PVC, they can help you choose the right materials for your fencing project. When it comes to quality, unmatched in the industry, and at the most competitive prices, we love our new wood fence. You will too. We shopped around. We found the right match with Badger Fence. So set up an appointment with Badger Fence to talk about your project. Go to badgerfence.com. Tell them Scaffidi from WTMJ sent you.
World-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey everybody, looks like spring weather's just around the corner. This is Max and we're back with another joke of the week. Why was everyone so tired in April? They just finished a 31-day march. Back to the Steve Scaffidi Show.
Oh, young Max, oldest of my 3 grandchildren, smart young whippersnapper, loves life, living life. I think he was telling me baseball season started last week and I went to see him play basketball, and who knows what else he occupies his time with. The kids involved in like 8 billion things, as probably your grandkids or your kids are as well. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday edition. Good Friday, leading, of course, to Easter Sunday. A couple more texts on it. I'm gonna switch gears here in a second. From the old National Bank talking text line. So somebody looked up. Apparently these burritos that he was consuming are 1,000 calories each. So 14,000 plus calories in 10 minutes. I can't, like, what would be an equivalent of that? Just normal eating. Could you eat something that had 14,000 calories in it? I don't think so. A lot of people like the seafood thing. Sushi? Yeah, I guess. Interesting. Anyway, the competitive eating thing is a big deal. Hey, I wanted to quickly talk about this, kind of shifting gears back to politics. And if you missed our great hour of politics, we do it every Friday with Bill McCoshen, Republican strategist, and Joe Zepecki on the Democratic side of the aisle. Today's was fantastic, as are most Fridays. And the gentlemen were on point on a lot of the big stories of the week, certainly the election in Wisconsin, Trump, Clarence Thomas, Tennessee decision to expel 2 African-American lawmakers. And, there's rules, and there's having the ability to do something, having the right to do something, and then debating out loud if it's the right thing to do. They had the right to do it, but it wasn't the right thing to do. And even in a state like Tennessee, which obviously is right-leaning, I don't think that's going to be a wise long-term decision. I could be wrong, but we'll see. So I saw this story, and it has to do, we were all voting on Tuesday or in pre-voting about some of these bail questions. And I'm not going to get into the weeds on this because, frankly, when we do that, it bogs down the conversation. I'm just quickly interested in giving these judges now more leeway to factor in some of those things that defendants have been charged and convicted with previously, using those violent chapters of their lives when sentencing or deciding about bail. I have zero problem with any of that. Matter of fact, it's long overdue. And now Joe says, well, it's already the law. You know, it's not, though, Joe. Because like everything, even though some people like Justice Dan Kelly say, well, it's not interpretation, it's the law. That's not how it works in the real world. Of course, judges interpret. One, sometimes constitutional words, phrases, written down hundreds of years ago, don't apply to the real world in 2023. That's one of them. Two, if we didn't have precedents or laws that had to be interpreted, why in the world would we have judges? So obviously there's an interpretation there. What I like about this, and I'd certainly welcome your comments as well, 855-616-1620, overwhelming support by the citizens. On a day, by the way, when Democrats did very well in most of the races in this state. When you have that kind of support in the 80s, 2/3, that suggests that all voters rejected the partisan argument that some people were trying to make, that this is somehow hard on defendants, hard on poor people, and said, you know what? At the end of the day, when we have people that are violent, shown the tendency to act out violently with guns, with their hands, with their fists, with other weapons, and they've demonstrated that behavior over and over again, why shouldn't we take that into account when deciding how much bail someone should get? And regardless of the color of your skin, if you commit an act of violence, the color of your skin doesn't matter, shouldn't matter. We're not talking about sentencing here. We're talking about bail, the amount of bail. It should be weighted to the violence of the crime. And we've seen what happens when you don't do that. And the answer is you get things like Waukesha Parade tragedy, or people killing cops, or each other, or kids. At some point, the public, and I think that point is starting to be pretty apparent to everybody, people said enough is enough. These things didn't need to happen. And by exercising that vote across political lines on Tuesday, voters in Wisconsin said, that's common sense, that's logic. And they cast aside those who wanted to make it partisan. There's no way you look at those results on Tuesday and say, oh my God, how conservative are we? When most observers of Wisconsin politics on Tuesday or Wednesday said, you know what? These are Democrats casting these votes, and Republicans. And how often is it that we all agree on something? Well, on these bail reform questions, we all agreed. That's how politics should work, folks. So as much as some people like to poo-poo these constitutional amendments or decisions or questions on the ballot? Not me. Now, my suggestion is heed that advice. Don't wait for a ballot question. When you can sense that your population, left or right, liberal, conservative, Republican or Democrat or independent, feel like crime is rampant and making things more dangerous, heed that warning. Voters said on Tuesday, what you're doing is not good enough. We're going to help you. We're going to nudge you in the right direction. Will judges listen? That's the big question. Still a chance to weigh in, 855-616-1620, the Old National Bank talking text line.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Jeff Wagner.
I mean, again, you can say what you want about Ron DeSantis, but whatever Ron DeSantis is or isn't, he's not a rhino. Rainbows are rainbows. Rainbows are created by God. You see, and if that offended some people, I apologize for it. People love deals. They love free cheese. There's no question about it. Hey, did you hear that forecast? 60 degrees on Friday, snow on Saturday. Welcome to Wisconsin at the end of March.
Weekdays from noon to 3 on WTMJ.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6-pack 0.5-liter bottles or 6-pack 7.5-ounce mini cans, Coke products, 4 for $17. 8 to 10-ounce pasta or 7 to 15-ounce sauce, selected varieties, Rana pasta or sauce, 2 for $8. 4.5-ounce package, selected varieties, Sargento balanced breaks, 2 for $6. 8-count package, selected varieties, Jimmy Dean breakfast entrees, $9.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet is your one-stop shop for supplies at prices that help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like KT Auto Darkening Welding Helmets, available in a variety of designs. Your choice, $69.99. Take $100 off the Hobart Handler 190 MIG welder. On sale, $799.99. Pick up a 26-piece screwdriver set from Performance Tool. Comes with color-coded handles and storage rack. Just $24.99. And visit us at the Midwest Horse Fair in Madison, Wisconsin, April 14th through the 16th.
Wisconsin weather can put a damper on things, but don't let it ruin your outdoor plans. Sister Bay Furniture is furniture built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Built from premium, sustainable materials, Sister Bay Furniture endures the grueling conditions of Wisconsin weather. That's commercial-grade quality for your outdoor space. Stop by their showroom today, located out in Sussex on Executive Drive, or visit their website today at sisterbayfurniture.com. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
All right, these two callers start queuing up for producer Brandon. We're going to debut our 2023 edition of Virtual Baseball, sponsored, of course, by Siding Unlimited. Two callers, two players, two contestants at 855-616-1620. Chance to win a WTMJ prize package and entry into a monthly drawing for a $500 gift cards courtesy of Siding Unlimited. So start calling now, 855-616-1620. And before we get to news with Connie Weber, I'm rolling out a new feature this week. We'll do it every Friday. I know I'm just getting to it late today, but it's called Tip Jar Friday. Hashtag Tip Jar Friday. Tip Jar Friday. So it's basically a shout-out, tip of the hat, as they say, to anyone, person, organization, company that went above and beyond, did something cool. So that's going to start today, and obviously we're getting to it late today, so we'll really roll it out next Friday. But Tip Jar Friday, hashtag, I'll put it on Twitter too. Just call somebody out for something good, some positive news on a Friday, kind of wrap up the week. So Tip Jar Friday, we'll unveil some of the submissions today. Just shout a pleasant shout out, a positive tip of the hat to somebody that stepped up above and beyond in your life. All right, I can see the phone lines are lighting up. We'll get to virtual baseball after the news. It is 10:31 here at WTMJ from our Avenue Studios in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Connie Weber.
Thank you, Steve. Police body cam video would need to be released within 15 days to the public, 48 hours for the family, under a measure being considered by the Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission. As of now, there are no procedures in place for when body cam footage needs to be released. Residents still living in hotels 2 weeks after being evacuated from community within the corridor due to toxic vapor. It's not clear when they can return home. Some units still showing unsafe levels of TCE. Republican legislators in Kansas have approved a proposal to end gender-affirming care for transgender youth. Their action early today capped 3 days of intensifying efforts to follow other states with GOP-controlled legislatures by rolling back LGBTQ rights. The governor in Kansas expected to veto it. America's employers added a solid 236,000 jobs in March, suggesting the economy remains on solid footing despite the 9 interest rate hikes the Federal Reserve has imposed over the past year in its drive to tame inflation. The unemployment rate fell to 3.5%, just above the 53-year low of 3.4% set in January. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets closed today for Good Friday. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, 94 eastbound from the Zoo to downtown, about a 5-minute drive, and 43 southbound from Brown Deer into downtown, 11 minutes, 43 northbound from Layton to downtown, running about 6 minutes this morning. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, partly sunny. We could see a flurry or sprinkles later on today. 45 by the lake for the high today, 52 inland. Partly cloudy overnight, low tonight 34. Partly sunny tomorrow. Again, a chance of flurries and sprinkles early. 52 for the high, lakeside 58 inland. Mostly sunny on Sunday with a high 60. Partly sunny Monday, slight chance for rain with a high 63. And mostly cloudy on Tuesday, warming up to 67. Right now in Appleton, 36 degrees. Milwaukee, 40. I'm Connie Weber. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Get ready for adventure with Mega Motorhome Markdown at Campers Inn RV. Now through April 9th, shop 739 new motorhomes priced up to 40% off across all 37 Campers Inn locations. That's right, for a limited time, enjoy up to $15,000 in factory rebates on the top Class A, B, and C motorhomes complete with full factory warranty. As a special bonus, we are also offering Blue Ox tow bars installed for only $19.95. With prices this low, it's never been easier or more affordable to RV. Visit Campers Inn RV for guaranteed lowest prices on motorhomes today. Inventory subject to availability. Prices and promotions may vary. See dealer for details.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel. Our travel advisors can help you travel anywhere in the world. Whether you're looking for a group tour or prefer to customize your own unique experience, we have the expertise to craft your next extraordinary journey, including some amazing options from our partners, Delta Vacations, Holland America Line, and Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, just to name a few. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. There are memories to be made this summer, and Fox will get you there.
The grass is cut, the hot dogs are hot, and the beer is ice cold.
Right and deep. Oh, baby, get up!
It's time for virtual baseball on the Steve Scaffidi Show. Brought to you by Siding Unlimited.
All right. Hey, it's been a while, 6 months. Let's welcome in our players for the debut edition of Virtual Baseball presented by Siding Unlimited on this Friday. Steve from Milwaukee, welcome to the show and to Virtual Baseball.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Appreciate being here.
Tell me about Steve from Milwaukee in 30 seconds or less.
Not much to tell. I'm retired, actually just watching my dogs play in the backyard.
What a life you lead there, Steve from Milwaukee. All right, let's meet our other contestant, Jeff from Oshkosh. Oh, by the way, Steve is the home team. Jeff is the away team. Jeff from Oshkosh, what is your story, my friend?
Yeah. Yes, Jeff, I'm semi-retired. I'm also a municipal judge up here in Winnebago County. Longtime baseball fan. Hate to tell you, I've been a St. Louis Cardinal fan all my life.
All right,
But,
stop with that, Jeff.
Okay.
We'll still allow you to play, but of course I'm seeing people in the building with jerseys from other teams, including the Cardinals. So you're not alone in your love of the Cardinals. They are a great franchise. All right, gentlemen, producer Brandon's going to lay out the rules for 2023 when it comes to virtual baseball, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Take it away, Brandon.
The first sign of spring, Steve. We are back with virtual baseball. Gentlemen, welcome. There are two players. We have Steve and Jeff. Each of you get a separate set of 10 highlights. Each set includes an equal number of hits and outs. They are numbered 1 through 10, so each of you get to pick 1 through 10. You get 5 selections. After 5 swings, we only record the hit in the highlight, not the runs scored in the highlight. After 5 swings, the number of runs gets tallied up, and whoever has the highest score is obviously the winner. If there is a tie, because there might be, the home team will try to walk it off. This case, Steve will get to pick a highlight A or B and see if he gets to walk it off or goes home a loser.
All right, gentlemen, are you ready to play Virtual Baseball 2023 edition?
Yeah,
ready.
All right, Jeff, 10 clips. Pick a number between 1 and 10. You have 5 selections. What is your first choice?
Number 9.
Number 9 from Jeff.
2-2. Anderson drives one to center. Backing up Nimmo. Warning track. It is gone for Anderson.
Whoa! Nice start.
That's a good start.
3-0 Brewers on the first home run of the season for the Brew Crew.
All right, thank you, Jeff Levering. Jeff, you started off great. You got 1 run in there. Let's go to selection number 2 out of the 10. What's your choice?
How about number 2?
Number 2.
Pitch to Terang. Swing and a fly ball to left. Canna drifts over a few steps, makes the catch.
All right.
1 gone, Miller back to first base.
All right, so you got 1 in, you got 3 outs, 3 at-bats left, I should say. What's your third choice?
Number 4.
Number 4.
The pitch home. Floated down the left field line. It's got eyes. It's down a base hit. Terang scores. Jesse Winker gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead.
All right, runner on first, 2 at-bats. You got to get a dinger in here if you want to get that runner in, or at least a triple. Jeff, what's your 4th choice?
Number 6.
Number 6. What do we got?
Miller, ground ball towards the middle. Swanson fields, throws after a spin. No pick from Hosmer. Should be a base hit for Owen Miller.
We got a guy on first and third.
Oh, yeah, first and third, but here's the deal. You got to get those runners in. You only have 1 run on the board. What's your 5th and final pick, Jeff?
Okay, number 5.
Number 5.
2-0, the pitch. Swing a line drive down the right field line, a base hit. Tellez scores. Caratini making his way to third. He'll be held as Terang comes up with an RBI double.
All right.
The Brewers have tied
so
the
Jeff,
game at 1 apiece.
unfortunately, you left 2 men on, but you have 2 runs in. So you left with their runners on second and third. So Steve, let's see what you have. You have to at least tie with 2 runs, 10 selections. What's your first choice?
Number 6.
Number 6.
The pitch. Swing and a fly ball center field. Backing up Nimmo. Warning track. Wall. Gone again. Have a night, Ryan Anderson.
Boy, both of these guys got leadoff home runs, so it's 2-1. Steve, you got 4 at-bats left to try to get more than 2 runs and walk this sucker off. What's your next choice?
Number 1.
Number 1.
2-2. Swing and a pop-up into shallow left. Canna. Right there makes the catch for out number 2.
All right, 1 out. That's not good. Gentlemen, real quickly, your favorite item to eat at the ballpark. Steve, what's yours?
Brat with special stadium sauce.
Oh, that's perfect. Jeff, what's yours?
How about a hamburger?
Really? Interesting.
Yes.
You put sauce on it?
No.
Just plain hamburger? Come on, buddy.
Just ketchup.
Oh, just ketchup. That's good. All right, Steve, you have 3 at-bats left. You have 1 run in, that leadoff home run. Jeff scored 2. You got 3 at-bats to kind of turn this thing around. What's your next choice?
Let's go with number 3.
Number 3.
second. He'll be in there, and on the third goes Brian Anderson.
All right, thank you, Bob Euchre. Runner at second base, 2 at-bats left. Score right now, Jeff has 2, Steve has 1. 2 shots here. What's your fourth pick?
Number 7.
Number 7. Lucky number 7, question mark?
And the pitch. This one hit in the air. He got under it. That was a good one to hit. I'm talking about power-wise. Canna the catch in left center. Adames is retired.
Here's where the drama comes in. So you are trailing. Jeff is up 2 runs to 1 with your leadoff home run. You have a runner at second base. Now you've got to at least score that runner. That means an extra base hit. There's a home run on the board still. There's a triple on the board. That would tie it. Obviously a home run, you'd walk him off. Steve, what's your 5th and final pick?
Number 8.
Number 8.
Scherzer deals again. Base hit to left for Joey Wiemer. Turned around on that one. Inside fastball and rips a base hit to left.
All right, we're going to score that run. So that means, Steve, you're going to decide with one pick whether you walk it off or you go home a loser.
All right, so we got the tiebreaker rules. The home team has the chance here. This is Steve's. Yeah, Steve's the home team. We have 2 highlights, Steve, labeled A and labeled B. One is a walk-off hit. The other is a game-ending out. You are the home team. You must choose A or B.
Got to go with B for Brewers.
Oh, there you go.
Homer looks at second. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss.
Unlike the real Brewers, that's not a winner. Steve, thanks for playing Virtual Baseball, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Jeff from Oshkosh, you are our first winner in 2023 of Virtual Baseball, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. How are you feeling right now?
Really good.
All right, so not only did you win a WTMJ prize package, you also are entered into our monthly drawing, of course the month is April, for a chance to win a $500 gift card thanks to the great folks at Siding Unlimited. That is amazing. Thanks for playing Virtual Baseball. That's this week's edition. We'll do it every Friday at 11:08 right here in WTMJ.
And the wave making its way by us again. Right in front. Excuse me a second. Okay. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You hit your head on the ceiling, Ian. I got up too quick. The spring in this chair has got to be readjusted.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickard here to report that 4 out of 10 homebuyers paid over the seller's asking price last month in southeast Wisconsin, and 2 out of 10 paid $10,000 or more over asking. The good news is appraised values are generally keeping up with those over asking offers. Still, the most powerful thing a buyer can do to make their offer the most attractive in a multiple offer situation is to give the seller what we call appraisal wiggle room. No one really wants to pay over the appraised value unless they've already lost 5 or 6 offers, but it's a lot less scary than you think once your AccuNet loan consultant shows you exactly how you typically don't have to bring any more money to closing, and your payment will only increase by a few bucks. Appraisal wiggle room is like a good card trick. You really need to see it to believe it. If you're home shopping with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, upgrade today to an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. You'll also like our lower rates and lower closing costs. That's ACCUNET.com.
At least twice as big
as the one you gave her when you got engaged.
That's the definition of a big anniversary diamond.
Kessler's has lots of ways for you to go twice as big.
We have twice as big diamonds from diamond mines.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of Mother Earth. And the ones that exist in the world today are all there will ever be.
Kessler's also has twice as big created diamonds.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of a ball of lightning, a miniature star, inside a plasma chamber. It's a wonder to behold.
Kessler's also has twice as big flickering firelight diamonds.
These natural diamonds flicker with all the warm colors of firelight instead of the cold colors of ice. Flickering firelight diamonds are another wonder to behold.
And all of these twice as big diamonds are for her.
The best wonder to behold of all. Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
For your new roof, we'll give you the hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty in the industry. You can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
You are a guaranteed winner with Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for your home's beauty and defense. Siding Unlimited is siding, of course, but so much more. Windows, roofing, decks. Siding Unlimited is recognized as the MVP in all those areas by customers and suppliers alike. You want major league work done on your house, so start by contacting Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
A lot of people ask about virtual baseball. Yes, every Friday at 10:35. I think I said 11:08 before. 10:35 on Friday. Thanks to the folks at Siding Unlimited who have been great and proud sponsors of virtual baseball since the beginning. And somebody asked me in the text line, where'd that come from? Well, it came during the pandemic. Obviously, there was no games for a while, and that's the original nucleus of that idea. And then my best friend at work, my teammate Eric Bilstead, kind of crafted that. We've tweaked it a little bit over the years. It's changed. Used to get 3 outs. Now it's 5 out of 10 audio clips that you pick from. But it's fun, and the reward can be big. We're talking about a chance to get in the drawing, and there's at most 5 Fridays and usually 4. So you got a 1 in 4 chance, 1 in 5 chance of winning a $500 gift card, thanks to the great folks at Siding Unlimited, who are great, fantastic partners here at WTMJ. So thanks to everybody involved. But yeah, that was from the brain trust of Eric Bilstead, which surprises no one because the guy is a genius on the radio, and you recognize that every morning with his work with Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. All right, so I'm starting a new thing today, and we're going to kind of go back to this on occasion. We'll do more of it next Friday as we really launch it, but it's called Friday Tip Jar. It's the hashtag is Friday Tip Jar. You can text in your tip of the hats to 855-616-1620 throughout the show on Friday. Hashtag Friday Tip Jar. So give me the shout out. Person, obviously organizations, companies, whatever it is, nonprofits, grocery stores, retail, somebody you met that blew you away, somebody you heard that blew you away. I'll give a Friday tip to Bill McCoshen and Joe Zepecki. They were outstanding today. You're not getting better analysis of this last election or any election than you'll find with those two gentlemen who join me every Friday at 9 o'clock. So tip of the hat to those guys. I got a couple that came in here. Actually, one came in. Glenn from Burlington. I'd like to thank the Burlington Walmart Pharmacy. They went out of their way for my mom's prescription. Our local MD office had sent prescription to an East Coast Burlington Walmart. That's right. Burlington, Vermont, probably. The pharmacy here took in all my mom's information and found the prescription and filled it while I shopped. She even let MD office know about the air. So Glenn from Burlington with our first official Friday Tip Jar shout out. So keep those coming. All right, got to take another break. We'll take a break here, wrap this hour up, and then, of course, you know what's going to happen at 11 o'clock, all right? If Steve ruled the world, I had to do it. A spring edition. It's got some of the greatest hits. You'll recognize the certain movie, Burt Reynolds, Ned Beatty movie that always makes an appearance. That'll be in it. Some other great clips that I discovered. Some you've heard before, some you haven't. That's all coming up at 11:08 right here on WTMJ. Friday Tip Jar. Don't forget, hashtag Friday Tip Jar, our regular new Friday feature. Quick break.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. Just because the buzzer hits doesn't mean the game ends. Highlights.
Holiday back to Giannis, and Giannis will staple it through with a two-hand jam.
Reaction.
Bucks have been very good. So we're talking about 3 months now that the Bucks have been the best team in the league, and the Bucks and the Sixers have been the 2 best teams by a wide margin.
Your thoughts.
Take care of the glass. We need to do that, and we did it in the fourth quarter.
Nobody knows the Bucks like Justin Garcia. Catch Bucks Talk after every game, right here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Wheel and Sprocket is celebrating 50 years of helping folks enjoy their ride on bicycles. Shop any of our stores right now during our 50/50 sale because all bikes are on sale at the best prices of the season. Find us at the store in Bayview, Brookfield, Franklin, Fox Point, or Delafield. And of course, online. I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket, and there's a brand new bike here with your name on it.
Wheel and Sprocket, enjoy your ride.
If you're going to purchase a new bike anyway, then why not shop our Wheel and Sprocket stores right now during our 50/50 sale because all bikes are on sale at the best prices of the season. Find us at the store in Bayview, Brookfield, Franklin, Fox Point, or Delafield. And of course, online. Come on out to Wheel and Sprocket and pick yourself out a brand new bike. And enjoy your ride.
Wheel and Sprocket, enjoy your ride.
Grandview Buys Homes. Let us help you sell your loved one's home. We'll buy your home completely as is. Get a fair cash offer in 48 hours and close on the day you choose. Take only the belongings you want and leave the stress and the mess to us. GrandviewHomes.com.
To be able to breathe properly when you sleep is a profound change. To be able to sleep properly is probably the most important thing you can do for your health, period. End of sentence. In order to sleep properly, you have to be able to breathe properly. If you can't breathe properly, you aren't going to sleep properly. It sounds sort of like simple, like I'm talking to a first grader, but I'm simply saying that most people don't recognize how profoundly impacted their sleep is by their breathing issues until we fix it. And so if we fix somebody's nose, we fix their sinuses, we make sure that their throat is staying open when they're sleeping at night, their body is for the first time ever breathing properly and therefore sleeping properly. And you kind of forget like, oh, this was such a big deal for me before I got it fixed.
Breathe well with simple solutions at vetnose.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show.
Texts are giving me grief. I didn't even have my hashtag right. It's hashtag Friday Tip Jar. What did I say? Tip Jar Friday? Hashtag Friday Tip Jar.
I thought you said it right.
Did I? All right. Well, whatever. Either way it works. There's no prize. There is a special sound effect, though. Yeah. A little extra something. Where'd you find that? That's a lot of tips.
Just go on YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube.
Oh, bless YouTube. All right, Mike from Illinois starts us up on Friday Tip Jar. Hey, buddy.
Good morning, Steve. Happy Friday. Happy Easter weekend. It is absolutely a beautiful day in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin.
Absolutely. So what's your shout-out? Who are you going to shout out, or what are you going to shout out?
So I asked Brandon, because this is a new segment you're having, and he said you're still kind of ironing it out. So I have a couple, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So
Go ahead.
I'm going to give a tip of the hat to, first, Kevin McCarthy for still going to visit Taiwan despite China opposing it. Joe Biden still going to visit Ireland despite what's going on there. It's, the Democrats were very instrumental in bringing peace to Northern and Southern Ireland. And I'd like to, tip my hat to you and Brandon for running a great show and the whole TMJ family.
All right. A triple header, a trifecta of goodwill. Thanks for that call, and happy Easter to you, Mike. As I said, Friday Tip Jar is now open. I see phone calls coming in. Let's get to the old National Bank Talking text line. From the 559, I worked at the polls on Tuesday and was amazed at the number of people who thanked me for being there. I was registering voters. Absolutely. Those folks work so hard. I had a caller on the other day. I think it was, what do you say, 14 hours? We don't even appreciate how hard they work. Ron from Waukesha, tip of the hat to the Bucks' great finish of the regular season and the Brewers' beginning of the regular season. Thank you for that, Ron from Waukesha. Oh, very, very generous there, Ron. Steve from Cudahy, shout out to Monroe Automotive in Cudahy, who snuck me in late afternoon yesterday to fix my flat tire that had attracted a large nail. Wonderful. Always love that. Those tire folks are awesome. They always drop everything and fix your tire. I've never had a bad experience with any of those places. 715, hashtag Friday Tip Jar to everyone that voted and exercised their civic duties on Tuesday, or even before that. Thank you there from 715. Mitch from It's from Sturgeon Bay. Tip of the cap to Steve's on-air ads, going from interviews, talk to doing ad copies harder than it seems. Even for a pro, sponsors like you work. Yes, thanks for that. Thanks for that. All right, let's see. Patty from Water. This is an interesting one. Hi, Patty. Welcome to the show.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good. I want to give a huge tip of the hat to the Watertown Police Department. We are new to Watertown, and last week my husband was going to pull the car in the garage and decided to take it around the block and got totally lost.
Wow.
And it was getting dark, and he wasn't home yet. Didn't take his cell phone or anything with him, and the police department put it out on their Facebook page and got a tip, and they located him and brought him home safely about 4 hours later.
Wow, no kidding. So great shout-out, Patty. Do you remember any of the officers' names by any chance?
Officer Higgins was number one. He led the team.
All right, I love that. Thanks for the call, Patty. Happy Easter as well. How about that? Give me another little thing there. All right, let's see. We got any more here? All right, so we're gonna tee this up. So, it's every Friday. It's throughout the show. You don't have to do them all in one segment. I'll kind of go to some phone calls if we got a bunch coming in. Hashtag Friday Tip Jar are going to be one of our regular Friday teachers. Why? Someone asked, why are you doing this? One, it's the wrap up of the week. We talk about a lot of negative stuff, right? Why these things are happening? Why we have all of those things, gun violence and crime and all that. So I was thinking to myself, and I had some conversations with some coworkers / teammates, and I said, let's do a fun one, not negative. Don't try to be snarky and slip in a negative one. Positives, like Patty just said. Officer Higgins in Watertown Police Department. 4 hours her husband was missing, and they stepped up and did the right thing. So that's a great example of those positive stories that I love to share on this show. Hashtag Friday Tip Jar. Throughout every Friday, the whole show, you can text them, you can call, you can even tweet them, because I always put a link on my Twitter page at WTMJ Steve. After the break, we'll break here for news with Connie Weber. If Steve Ruled the World, a special edition related to, of course, spring. That's next.
You're listening to the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Hey, Eric Bilstead with WTMJ's Wisconsin's Morning News for J.D. Griffiths. For more than 70 years, J.D. Griffiths has been Milwaukee's premier provider and builder of garage doors. And my wife and I are now proud owners of 2 new garage doors installed by J.D. Griffiths' crew. They came in a couple of weeks ago and did it in a half a day. I could not tell you how easy it was. We first went to jdgriffiths.com. We set ourselves up for a free at-home estimate. Ken came over, took a look around, gave us some ideas, and off we were. It just took a couple of weeks to get it installed, and we could not be happier. It pops. I'm telling you, the neighbors notice. I hear about them all the time. It makes our house look so much sharper with those brand new garage doors from J.D. Griffiths. So go to jdgriffiths.com, set yourselves up for a free at-home estimate. And J.D. Griffiths doesn't just do new garage doors. They also offer affordable servicing of existing garage doors and also even build new detached garage doors as well. J.D. Griffiths and jdgriffiths.com.
You can't beat Bernhardt.
Now open in New Berlin. It's a new year, but this time Yachty and Pujols won't be here to save you.
Deals again to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! He just hit one out of here with the bases loaded.
Our Brewers Cardinals series coverage starts tonight at 6:35 on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Good morning, 11 o'clock. We have 40 degrees, partly sunny today with a chance of flurries and sprinkles later on. A high 45 by the lake, 52 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Milwaukee police released the body camera footage of the Jervings shootings yesterday. It shows officers chase down, then struggle with Terrell Thompson. Thompson seen with a gun, which he fired twice. The first shots drove Officer Peter Jerving back, but he then went back to arrest Thompson. That's when they both fired. Thompson died at the scene of the shooting. Jerving died a short time later at the hospital.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Local advocates outside City Hall wanting Milwaukee police to have a standard for how to release body camera footage. One of the speakers, Maria Hamilton, mother of Don Trey Hamilton, who was killed by police in 2014.
We're not asking no more.
The goal of organizers?
24/48.
That's 24 hours to release footage to families and 48 hours before the public can view it. Hamilton says the lack of transparency from police hurts the relationship with the community.
We're supposed to feel comfortable in this community. raising our family. We don't trust y'all.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Police body cam video would need to be released within 15 days under a measure being considered by the Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission. The proposal sets a deadline for critical incidents to be released to the public within 15 days, 48 hours for the family. The commission met last night and hopes to vote on the guidelines later this month. Tennessee Republican leaders deny race was a factor in the expulsion of 2 black legislators from the State House, sparing a 3rd white lawmaker. State Representative Jesse Chisholm, vice chair of the Tennessee Black Caucus of State Legislators, says it's a shameful move by the chamber's GOP.
We have to have our members back. We have to have more members so that we can fight this kind of thing.
State law allows the lawmakers to be reappointed or reelected to their positions. The GOP-controlled chamber ousting the 2 for their roles in a gun control demonstration following the Nashville school shooting. Pentagon officials working to determine the source of several screenshots posted to social media this week that appear to show classified U.S. or NATO military information on the war in Ukraine.
These are documents that on the face of it look real, but of course a lot needs to be considered about the possibility that they could be Russian misinformation as well. So the Pentagon is really concerned about this, trying to figure out exactly where it came from.
That's ABC's Luis Martinez. Local governments have more authority to impound repeat reckless drivers' vehicles under a bill signed into law by Governor Evers earlier this week. Former State Representative Jim Ott, who worked to stiffen drunk driving laws, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the measure provides another tool to prevent reckless driving.
My thought always was with the tougher penalties for drunk driving, it was not necessarily to lock more people up. It was more a matter of deterrence. You know, you make the penalties higher, there's some people will change their behaviors.
Ott was a strong advocate for tougher legislation on drunk driving. He says tougher penalties aren't intended to lock people up, but rather deter drivers from driving recklessly in the first place. Milwaukee's preparing to host 50,000 guests at the 2024 Republican National Convention.
Allison Prangy is the senior advisor to the 2024 Host Committee. She told WTMJ that the Host Committee is a nonpartisan nonprofit that helps raise the $68 million needed to host the RNC.
That's the Host Committee's job, to help and again work on behalf of everybody that's here to show off this amazing city and help drive the economy.
The committee intends to plan a warm Wisconsin welcome.
A lot of people haven't had the chance, and they're going to see exactly what our hospitality is like and how spectacular the city of Milwaukee is, both the business community and the entertainment community.
Jessica Gatzo, WTMJ News.
It's the most sacred week in the liturgical year in Christianity, and it brings loads of busyness for Archbishop Jerome Listecki. However, he says breaks aren't something he indulges in
all
often.
The emphasis then shifts. It's not so much focus on Easter, but now the post-Easter season with everybody wanting to get together, to do the celebrations, to do everything. So for me, my life is always in a shift. It's shifting the energies from this spot to another.
You can hear the full conversation with Archbishop Listecki on WTMJ.com. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk, heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Signing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
The best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Hi, this is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Integrity, excellence, quality, and community are what we value here at Ridgetop because we want to do a great job to help our friends and neighbors. We always want to exceed expectations because customer service is our #1 goal. We're trusted local experts you can count on for your home exterior projects. Thanks for choosing Ridgetop Exteriors for your home's next project. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
Do not be afraid.
Go tell my brothers and sisters. Hello, Archbishop Listecki here. The road to Calvary was filled with suffering, the cross, and his death. It appeared that all was lost, but he lives. He is risen from the very tomb that enclosed him, and he establishes the way. The joy of Easter is that God's love conquers. The way to the empty tomb and everlasting life is through uniting ourselves to the cross. We proclaim your death, O Lord, and we profess your resurrection until you come again. Happy Easter. Join us for Mass.
Time for a WTMJ Sports
Milwaukee
Update.
Brewers are winners of 5 straight games. They are looking to make it 6 when they welcome in the St. Louis Cardinals tonight for a 3-game series beginning at American Family Field. Brandon Woodruff is slated to get the start for the Brew Crew. First pitch is scheduled for 7:10. You can catch full coverage right here on WTMJ, of course, home of the Brewers, beginning at 6:35. Over to the NBA. After clinching the top seed in the Eastern Conference this week, Milwaukee is back at it tonight as Memphis comes into town. Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton have all been ruled out of action for tonight's game. The Bucks and Grizzlies do tip off at 7 p.m. tonight. You can catch full coverage over on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee beginning at 6:30. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
From the WTMJ Traffic Center, smooth sailing out there right now. 94 eastbound from the Zoo to downtown, about a 5-minute drive. 43 southbound from Brown Deer Road into downtown, about 11 minutes. And 94 northbound from Layton to downtown, running about 6 minutes this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. A few clouds this afternoon. Some flurries and sprinkles, but mainly off to our north. We'll see highs in the low to mid-40s by the lakefront and inland low 50s. Tonight we fall at 34 under partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning becoming sunny late. A high 52 by the lakefront, but inland spots upper 50s. More sunshine on Sunday. Everyone will see 60 degrees. Monday, mostly cloudy skies with a chance for a few showers late. A high of 63. And on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, but 67. I'm meteorologist Bristol Walls with your Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, Madison 41, Green Bay 36, Milwaukee 41 degrees. I'm Connie Weber. Sighting Unlimited WTMJ News Time 11:08.
Breaking down the biggest stories, talking about what really matters, and bringing you the biggest forum to let your voice be heard. Now, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, here's Steve Scaffidi.
And sailing through this Friday, welcome everybody. We get ready to launch the Easter celebration for a lot of us. Weather, boy, I just took a gander at the weather forecast. Next week looks spectacular. Too bad the Brewers are going out of town to the west where it's going to be rainy and cold. It's like, those schedule makers, my goodness. Now, you wouldn't expect that in the west, but it's been a crazy weather year out there. All right, so every Friday, almost every Friday, 11 o'clock hour, do a little something called Steve Rolled the World. It's my chance to, in a tongue-in-cheek fashion, point to some of the newsmakers, the current events stories. You'll recognize some of the audio from this week. Kind of a mix of old and new, young and old, whatever, yin and yang, good and bad, right and left, all of that stuff. In a 15-minute or so look at the newsmakers, as I said. All right, so this week I thought, it's warming up. I'm actually going to put out some patio furniture this weekend as we welcome our friends and family to the house for Easter. And I thought, so let's talk in this format about the wonderful season that is spring. Now, as you'll realize when I'm doing this, it's not all wonderful. And I have to point that stuff out if I want to be honest and fair with all of you. But this is this week's If Steve Ruled the World. Kick it off, Brandon.
I ruled the world. Imagine that.
It's Steve Ruled the World. All right, everybody, some new rules for spring 2023. Let's start with the easy one first. You know how I know it's spring? Because it's still snowing here in Wisconsin on occasion. Not this week, though. But all the other weeks right before it, yes, it was. Sometimes it's hard to tell if the local weather folks really want spring to get here or if they would rather drag it out. Yes, drag it out to make their weather forecast more interesting. I'm just saying, I'm just asking. I've said it before, but the only winter I need is a dusting of snow for Christmas and at least one day where we can use the line, "This weather hurts my face." That's it. Weather should be a neutral player in our lives, like Finland or Switzerland, up until Putin went after Ukraine. It takes a lot to make the Swiss people angry, by the way. Must be all that chocolate. You know who else really appreciated chocolate? Willy Wonka.
Who can take a rainbow, wrap it in a sigh, soak it in the sun and make a strawberry lemon pie?
The Candyman?
The Candyman. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Willy Wonka makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious. Talk about your childhood wishes. You can even eat the dishes.
If Steve ruled the world. Hard to be angry at anybody when you hear stuff like that, right? Even Donald Trump. Can't be angry at him when I hear that Willy Wonka song. So I've talked about this before, but my dislike for our long, cold Wisconsin winters. 6-month winters, really, despite what the weather talking heads say. We all know it's not spring until we're done with snow. We can walk across our lawns without getting our shoes full of mud, and then we're not there yet. Trust me, just did it yesterday. And the neighbor has picked up all the dog poop in their yard, which unfortunately we can smell in our yards. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nod, nod to the dog owners out there. A new rule for spring, should it be when we hit 70 on the old temperature gauge? That's when we start the clock on spring? I think so. Maybe at that point, everybody who hasn't taken down their Christmas wreaths, those icicle lights hanging off their gutters, and the plastic wise men from their front yard. Come on, don't be one of those folks. From their front yard can get to work. And reminder, adding a shamrock or a flag to a Christmas decoration. I like the flag part, but the shamrock or a green derby to the wise men, that's a no-go. Shamrocks aren't native to Bethlehem, and either way, the wise men were Persian, not Irish. Prove me wrong. Show me a red-haired Persian, folks.
Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
If Steve ruled the world. One of the things that drives me nuts about spring in Wisconsin is the line at these car wash places. Are you kidding me? I pulled into a line the other day, and we all know that even if you get your car washed in Wisconsin, 10 minutes later, or where you are, it's going to look like you didn't get your car washed anyway. Am I the only one in a hurry at these places? Maybe it's all the choices you get now. Wax, bug remover, underbody flush, wheel brightener. Maybe we should have Justice Kelly look into this mess. He's got a lot of time on his hands. Maybe I'm sure he could get to the bottom of it.
And it brings me no joy to say this. I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent. But I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede. This was the most deeply deceitful, dishonorable, despicable campaign I have ever seen run for the courts. It was truly beneath contempt.
Man, that was a winter, cold, angry voice, not a happy, warm spring voice. All right, since we're talking about spring, we certainly have to mention spring break. Now, you're not going to like where I'm going with this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The new reality of spring break is that parents, they don't wait to spring to take their kids to spring break. You see parents hauling their gaggle of brats through airports in December, January, February to save a little money on that family jaunt to Florida or Texas or Cancun. And by the way, who takes their kids to Cancun or Vegas for that matter? Are you kidding me? You already know that the answer to that question is bad parents. You know, I said it. I mean it. I know little Brad or Tiffany or Amber or whatever the hot name is now, they really want to go to Florida. But why let a little thing like their education get in the way? And oh yeah, airlines have even stricter rules on passenger behavior now, although they seem to have no problem with people's pets lifting a leg in the aisle of an aircraft 30,000 feet up. And resorts and restaurants are a little more challenging with all that post-pandemic change. But hey, it's spring, so let's take the kids on vacation, even though school is in session. Leave them in a hotel room when we get drunk and go drink. And when we get back, complain that our kids don't get enough face-to-face classroom time. There's a word for that. Hypocrisy. Unfortunately, also a song.
If Steve ruled the world.
There are literally radio shows in town that could use it as their theme music. Does that go too far? I don't care. I don't care! All right, one of the other things I noticed in the spring is the desire to get back outside. Young couples excitedly holding hands, walking around their quaint new upscale neighborhoods, dog walkers being towed down the sidewalk by their excited pets. The thing for me is that rarely translates to the idea of stepping outside and picking up the dog poop or the garbage or the decorative lawn elements that have toppled over in the yard during our long winter. As long as you're going out for a nice spring walk, why not take the time to walk around your own yard and give it a quick once-over, going over, for all the rest of us who have to look at your messy yard. Think of it as an exercise. Bending over to pick up garbage is almost as good as doing a squat at the club. Yes, the grass is mushy. The dog poop probably doesn't smell that good, but at least it's cheaper than a personal trainer, and maybe you can start shedding some of that pandemic 20 you're still carrying that you picked up by eating all that Chinese food.
How come you're always such a fussy young man? Don't want no Captain Crunch, don't want no Raisin Bran. Well, don't you know that other kids are starving in Japan? So eat it, just eat it. Don't wanna argue, I don't wanna debate. Don't wanna hear about what kind of food you hate. You won't get no dessert till you clean off your plate. So eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Oh!
If Steve ruled the world.
How about that? A little Weird Al for you there. I haven't listened to him in a while. Okay, a couple quick ones here. Stop saying spring is your favorite time of year. I grow stuff and I don't even say that. Makes zero sense. You like freak snowstorms, cold nights, muddy shoes, or the constant drone of your sump pump? Please. How about this one? April showers bring May flowers. You know what else April showers bring? Flash flooding and tornadoes. And last one, there's a reason why we don't schedule outdoor festivals in the spring. Because the weather in the summer is way better, and you don't need a blanket in your lap to watch a 70-year-old Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers sing What a Fool Believes at your local county fair. Man, that's really specific.
Apology, anybody else would surely know. He's watching her go. But what a fool believes. The wise man has the power.
If Steve ruled the world.
Thank you, Mr. Michael McDonald. He's got the golden throat, doesn't he? Have we forgotten that spring also means tax time? Why in the hell would I be happy about a month where I have to write a check to the government? Actually, it's a digital transaction now, but you know what I mean. There's also a good time to remind people that filing your taxes is not a savings plan just because you don't adjust your tax withholdings so you get a refund. How come all those less government folks have no problem giving an interest-free loan to the government for a year? One questions the logic in that. For all those political junkies, what do we call someone who can't make up their minds on things? A flip-flopper, wishy-washy. Well, last time I checked, spring is about as consistent a season. Oof, this is a tough one. As Donald Trump is on his opinion of Stormy Daniels, who he loved her for a moment, didn't he? Maybe 3 minutes. Boy, that relationship went from love to hate in about 5 minutes, but he sure does love talking about water.
We're bringing back consumer choice in home appliances so that you can buy washers and dryers, shower heads and faucets. So shower heads, you take a shower, the water doesn't come out. You want to wash your hands, the water doesn't come out. So what do? You just stand there longer, or you take a shower longer? Because my hair, I don't know about you, but it has to be perfect. Perfect.
If Steve ruled the world.
Thing is, it never looks that perfect to me. Maybe I'm missing something. That never gets old. New rule. You come at me wearing sandals on a 40-degree day in April, I'm going to think you're as loony as Bernie Sanders, who is loony, by the way. And why is it always the people with the worst hygiene that want to go barefoot all the time? Airports, libraries, coffee shops. Please, at least Bernie had enough sense to wear those mittens at the inauguration when it was cold. And put him in the top 10 list of all-time internet memes in the process. Or speaking of loony, how about all those Karens out there? Here's my question. Once the pandemic is actually officially finally gone. And all the school boards in the state of Wisconsin and elsewhere are flipped from liberal to conservative. What's the new thing they're going to complain about?
If Steve ruled the world.
Oh, trust me, they'll find something. And last but not least, I know spring is that much anticipated announcement that for all of us in the cold climates means we're officially survived our brutally cold winter. We can now put away the winter coats, the warm hats, the scarves, the boots, the gloves, the mittens. It is the season of rebirth, signaling the coming of warmer days and sun-filled nights, prompting the buds of new growth in our gardens to silently announce their arrival. I wish you a warm and quiet spring, free of masks, right? Who wants to wear a mask anymore? Movies to watch or go to. Won't even remind you about politics or elections because we've got a long time before the next one. Plus, you already know who you're going to vote for, right? Here's my only advice. Don't vote for the crazy ones. See what I did there? That is this week's
If Steve ruled the world.
Take us to break, young Brandon.
Well, life on the farm is kinda laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can hack. It's early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm. Raising me a family and working on the farm. My days are all filled with an easy country charm. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. And life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. When the work's all done and the sun's setting low, I pull out my fiddle and I rosin up the bow. The kids are asleep, so I keep it kinda low. Thank God I'm a country boy. I'd play Sally Gooden all day if I could, but the Lord and my wife wouldn't think it very good. So I fiddle when I can and I work when I should. Thank God I'm a country boy.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
New rules, same old Bob Euchre.
Time call now. Here's a penalty. Offside.
All season long, right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, are you ready for a new shower? If you are, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for over 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Educators Credit Union. I'm a brand new member. Love working with educators. You know, being a parent can be busy, right? Lots to do. Well, Mind and Money from Educators Credit Union provides an easy way for parents to pay allowance, assign chores, and teach important financial lessons all from your phones or computer. And get this, with no monthly fees. Children and teens can even receive their own debit card, and parents can set limits, track their spending. It's a win-win. Another great perk and reason to be a member at Educators Credit Union like I am. Their online platform is tremendous. Trust me. Join me. Learn more at ecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
With all the positive Google reviews continuing to pour in for Rich Lawn's Tire and Service Centers, we want you to know we appreciate you.
You were due for service. We delivered. And then you went the extra mile and wrote a few kind words about the service you experienced.
Yeah, thank you so much. Michael, Glenn, Jeff, Lisa, Carol, Jason, John,
Wait,
Michelle,
hang on a
Ryan.
second, Dad. As fun as it may be to name every single person who's ever left us a Google review, there just isn't enough time. We get 60 seconds, and I'd say we've got about 28 left.
Ah, good point, Courtney.
Listen, we appreciate every last one of you for helping us maintain a nearly 5-star Google rating. And we're going to keep on shooting for the stars, especially when it comes to providing top-notch auto repair service.
Yep, and remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. Peter, Bruce, Samantha, Kimberly, Nick, Heather,
Oh,
Marissa,
Dad.
George, Jeremy, Diane, Brad, Paul.
Rich Lawns.
Analyzing the best of the diamond from every degree. Brewers 360. Your comprehensive look at all things Brewers, on and off the field.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up.
Hear from Brewers reporters, announcers, and members of the front office every morning on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45. It's Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickard here to report that 4 out of 10 homebuyers paid over the seller's asking price last month in southeast Wisconsin, and 2 out of 10 paid $10,000 or more over asking. The good news is appraised values are generally keeping up with those over asking offers. Still, the most powerful thing a buyer can do to make their offer the most attractive in a multiple offer situation is to give the seller what we call appraisal wiggle room. No one really wants to pay over the appraised value unless they've already lost 5 or 6 offers, but it's a lot less scary than you think once your AccuNet loan consultant shows you exactly how you typically don't have to bring any more money to closing, and your payment will only increase by a few bucks. Appraisal wiggle room is like a good card trick. You really need to see it to believe it. If you're home shopping with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, upgrade today to an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. You'll also like our lower rates and lower closing costs. That's ACCUNET.com.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula on Advent's one-stop shop office-based procedures approach to solving breathing triangle problems.
A lot of folks are like, I don't want to go to surgery. You know, isn't there something else we can do? And at Advent, there is something else we can do. We have a whole host of office-based options where you don't have to go to surgery. We can do it under local anesthesia, get these things taken care of. How does that sound? And don't be surprised when you hear that a lot of people go for those options. When given the choice between surgery and office procedures, almost everybody that we talk to and give them the choice, they choose the office. That's not surprising. That's just understanding your patients and offering them the options that they would choose. So I think at Advent, when you put all that together, we are a one-stop shop for these issues.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com today because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
Don't forget to send in your tip of the hats, Friday tip jar, hashtag Friday tip jar. I put it on Twitter and talked about it today. Our new Friday feature, and it's not just this time of the show, it's throughout the whole show. Somebody you want to give a shout out to, a person, individual, organization that stepped up above and beyond. Tip of the hat, positive way to end my week. So got a bunch of them coming in on the Old National Bank talking text line. 920, I tip my hat to the Bucks and the Brewers. 414, nice addition with the tip jar. It reminds me of WTMJ's old program, Ask Your Neighbor. We can all use this goodwill. That's James from Milwaukee. Thank you, James. Let's see. Here's hashtag Friday Tip Jar. Thanks to Steve for coming up with this to bring in some positive highs for the week for people to share. Rod from Burlington. Let's see. A shout out to volunteers at church fish fries. One today at St. Augustine's, noon to 2 p.m. and evening 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Also, St. Matthew's in Oak Creek is doing a fish fry as well. So, all great stuff. Let's see, what else do we have here on the Old National Bank talking text line? Diane's giving us a shout out. She says, producer Brandon and Steve are firing on all cylinders today. Brandon's been on fire. Yeah, I gave him a lot of work today, so he's been doing a great job. Let's see. Steve, I would like to nominate you as the leader of our new political party, the Common Sense Party. How about that? Not going to happen, but I appreciate the love and the warm feeling there. Coming up in the next half hour, of course, we've got Week in Review sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. We're going to get some more of your suggestions for Tip of the Hat. Friday Tip Jar is the new hashtag and new segment on, not really a segment, the whole show on Friday, kind of a positive look at the week from your perspective. There's that audience input, man. We've been trying to do a lot of that lately, and I thank to all of you who have sent in some more. They're coming in as I speak. Let's do this. We'll break for the bottom of the hour news. We'll come back with more of our Friday tip jars, and you never know what else I'm going to talk about because I only got a half hour left in my week on this Easter weekend. Our news time right here at WTMJ from the beautiful Avenue Studios in downtown Milwaukee on this glorious Friday is 11:30 from our Breaking News Center. Connie Weber.
Thanks, Steve. Justice Clarence Thomas says he was told he didn't have to disclose a series of luxury trips reportedly paid for by a Republican donor. His statement follows a report from ProPublica detailing travel around the globe and outings on yachts and private jets owned by businessman Harlan Crow. Congressional Democrats have called for an investigation into the matter and stronger ethics codes for Supreme Court justices. Judge Janet Protasiewicz will get to weigh in on the political maps that she called rigged relatively soon. The liberal law firm Law Forward this week said its plan planning to challenge Wisconsin's electoral maps now that Protasiewicz has been elected to the court. Republicans at the Wisconsin Capitol once again trying to tie unemployment benefits to the unemployment rate. Both the Senate and the Assembly passed the plan last year, but Governor Evers vetoed it. Currently, people can collect up to 26 weeks of unemployment benefits in Wisconsin. The Republican plan would trim that to as low as 14 weeks. Right now, the jobless rate in the state, 2.7%. Latest jobs report nationally shows the labor market is cooling slightly. The U.S. added 236,000 jobs in March as the unemployment rate fell to 3.5%. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It is Good Friday. That means the markets are closed. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, it is Friday light. 94 eastbound from the zoo to downtown, about a 5-minute drive, and 43 southbound from Brown Deer into downtown, 10 minutes. 94 northbound Layton to downtown, running about 6 minutes this morning.
Traffic sponsored by Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, partly sunny today, but we could see flurries or sprinkles later on. 45 by the lake for the high today, 52 inland. Partly cloudy overnight, low tonight, 34, and then a chance of flurries or sprinkles early tomorrow. 52 lakeside, 58 inland for tomorrow's high. Sunny on Sunday, high of 60. Partly sunny Monday, but there is a slight chance for rain later on, high 63. Then mostly cloudy Tuesday, but warming up to 67. Appleton right now, 39 degrees. Milwaukee, 41. I'm Connie Weber. WTMJ News Time, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 11:32.
It's Easter weekend. Very special family holiday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Don't cook, relax, enjoy your family, and let the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant serve you. The Good Friday codfish fry is all you care to eat, and it's just $15.99. All other dinners, buy one, get one free. Order your favorite seafood, pasta, big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster. Any dinner on the menu, your second one is free. Free, free, even on Easter weekend. Desserts and ice cream drinks? Buy one, get one free. Saturday night, buy one prime rib dinner. You got it, get one free. The Fox and Hound sits in the Cuttle-Moraine Forest. It is magical. There's no other restaurant like it. Winners of the Top Choice Award for Fine Dining and Most Romantic Restaurant. The Fox and Hounds is just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The spring drive right now is beautiful. It is one of my favorite places. Reserve your weekend table for Easter. Do it now. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Happy Easter from the famous Fox and Hounds.
Make 2023 your year with a new career at John Deere Horicon Works. Their new starting wage is over $23 to $25 per hour, plus an annual John Deere profit sharing bonus and wage increase. And nothing beats the new benefits, including health insurance for your entire family with no premiums. Get a fresh start with the pay and benefits you deserve at John Deere Horicon Works. Apply now at deere.com/Horicon.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel. Our travel advisors can help you travel anywhere in the world. Whether you're looking for a group tour or prefer to customize your own unique experience, we have the expertise to craft your next extraordinary journey, including some amazing options from our partners, Globus Tours, Princess Cruises, Disney Vacations, and Avalon Waterways, just to name a few. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. There are memories to be made this summer, and Fox will get you there.
Now, more of the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ.
I'm in a great mood on this Friday. Hopefully you are as well. Thanks for tuning in however you find us over the air. Awesome. Old school. Online. Stream. Podcast. You guys are killing my podcast page. WTMJ.com. Easy to find. Or wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify. Our entire show is available. Special interviews, special features like If Steve Ruled the World, which we just did. Somebody asked if, well, I can't even use the word they used. Was I trying to be funny or I said sometimes both. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's supposed to nudge you a bit, to get you off your chair, out of your chair, on the streets, thinking differently about things. I could sit here for 3 hours and just tell you what you want to hear, but what point is that? Preaching to the choir? Boring. So, as I said, we've launched a new feature. It's going to be every Friday. There's no specific time. Hashtag Friday tip jar, you be the person that tips your hat to somebody that did above and beyond service, whatever that is. Restaurant, hospital, doctor, dentist, whatever it is, your car wash guy, somebody in the grocery store, you tip your hat to them. We even got a special sound effect, which producer Brandon may or may not have access to at the moment. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. So you can fire it up on the old National Bank talk and text line 855-6. There we go. 855-616-1620. Hashtag Friday Tip Jar. All right, quickly, I wanted to bring this back because we're going to do weekend review in the next slot here after the break. But I wanted to talk about this. So this was something that I asked you about yesterday. And, I ask you a lot of things in the course of a 3-hour program, and I certainly utilize the Twitter, which is my preferred social media platform. I'm on Facebook, but I don't do much on it. So let me get to that quickly. So I asked you yesterday on our show poll, and I do it every day, almost every day, at least Monday through Friday, and ask you questions related to, the news of the week, current events, and what we think about all of these things. So today's was Joey Chestnut and what you would eat if you could eat 14 in 10 minutes. And right now, meatballs is the winner at generally about 50%. So I asked you yesterday, you can tell I'm scrolling to find, there we go. So pretty casual, easy question. Now that the spring elections have come and gone, right? We're done. We had the primary and we had the election on Tuesday. Do you take a pause from politics? Why do I ask this? Well, one, it's warming up, a lot more stuff going on. And we don't really have an election until next year now, when, of course, the whole ramp up, the whole cycle of the presidential election contest will get us going, fire us up, make us angry, make us vote. Because let's be honest, a lot of people only vote for president, and they rarely show up other times, which I never understood, but that's America. You can do what you want to do. So the results from yesterday prompted a question. So do you take a pause from politics? Nearly 50% of you said yes. And then there was the other responses. No, still fighting got about 20%. And depends on the issues, 30%. So if I had no, still fighting, depends on the issues, this is really a 50-50 call, right? So I guess for the folks who sort of don't take a break, anybody think that's healthy? Anybody think that's the smart thing or the wise thing to do? I understand you're passionate about issues, and certainly we're gonna have cases now, probably in front of the Wisconsin Supreme Courts, that challenge previously held law, that challenge maybe what those of us in this state are thinking about. But just from my perspective as a radio host who talks about politics and a lot of other things, I don't think that's healthy. We have been driven by this narrative that politics is 24/7, 365, and some people never, ever step away from that. How do I know that? I can see it on Facebook. Even friends of mine. Innocent posts have nothing to do with politics. They interject politics to them. Now, for those of us who are, you don't have to be tech savvy, just kind of know how Facebook works. You can actually mute all that stuff so you don't have to read it. Because, let me just, between me and you, speaking in a soft voice, there's not a lot of political wisdom on Facebook. There's no such thing as a Facebook journalist. That's not a real thing. Your opinion about politics is your opinion. It's generally not something that NBC News or Fox News is going to quote. So one would probably have to take that opinion with a grain of salt. And why would you want to anger your friends, family, and neighbors about politics when we're not in an election season? Think about the reality of that. So when I ask you this question, it's for a good reason. Is it healthy to be so involved? Unless you work in politics, what's the point? We got the Bucks going to the postseason. We got the Brewers 5-1 in first place. I think they're tied. Maybe somebody has no losses, but they're up there on the best record in baseball. And a bunch of other things, like the weather we're going to have in this part of the country next week, which is pretty cool. That's the real arrival of spring, as I said in If Steve Ruled the World. 70-degree weather, maybe 75. Short sleeves. Is it healthy to be consumed by politics all the time? The answer, the right answer, that not enough people hear is no, it's not healthy. So we've got an opportunity here, and maybe where you live, to step away from politics for a bit. I'm going to step away. Doesn't mean we won't talk about it, but we're not going to spend 3 hours on a program talking about politics. Not healthy, not good for you, and unless there's a breaking news story, probably not worth covering. Put it in the same box as I put probably Jeff too and Aaron Rodgers thing. I could be talking about Aaron Rodgers today, but what's to talk about? There's no news. When there's news or the possibility of an Aaron Rodgers story, you bet I'm going to talk about it. There's not a lot of political news right now. Everybody's taking a breather. Everybody's taking a rest. So don't get consumed to the point where all you ever talk about is politics, because I can guarantee you that your friends, family, and neighbors are probably sick and tired of hearing you talk about politics. Maybe they're just not brave enough to say it. All right, Friday Tip Jar is open. Hashtag Friday Tip Jar. Who are you giving a tip of the hat to? Shout-outs. Positive vibes, positive love, positive energy. Individual, organization, company. Here's your chance. In the next 20 minutes and every Friday right here on WTMJ.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. With inflation on the rise, Wisconsinites are hurting at the gas pump, at the grocery store, and to pay their bills. Now big city lobbyists are pushing for potentially massive property tax hikes, which would put a further burden on your already stretched thin wallet. They are coming after the local property tax levy freeze that has saved taxpayers more than $3.5 billion since 2011. Property taxes are already Wisconsin's most onerous tax, and their proposal would make it worse. Right now, you control your property tax increases by voting in local referenda. The big city lobbyists want to take away your control and allow property taxes to increase automatically without your approval. We must stop this attempt to thaw the property tax freeze. Call your legislator at 800-362-9472 and let them know you appreciate their efforts to protect your hard-earned money. Paid for by the Wisconsin Homeowners Alliance.
Kessler's is America's largest employee-owned diamond store.
It's the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
As shoppers, we want better prices and more choices.
That's why we give you better prices and more choices.
We don't try to choose for you. We let you choose.
You can choose a diamond from a diamond mine.
A diamond as old as the earth itself.
You can choose a created diamond from a plasma chamber.
A diamond as new and fresh and sparkling as springtime.
And now you can choose a flickering firelight diamond.
Flickering firelight diamonds sparkle with a rich and regal golden glow.
At Kessler's, you choose from 3 different kinds of diamonds.
3 different kinds of diamonds.
Earth diamonds from diamond mines.
Created diamonds from plasma chambers.
And flickering firelight diamonds with a rich, regal golden glow.
We like to have choices, so we give you choices.
Kessler's is the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at SteelUSA.com.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg Offices. One call, that's all.
It's WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Sister Bay Furniture. Wisconsin weather can be tough on all of us. A snowy gray morning can quickly evolve into a bright, warm afternoon, inviting you to fire up the grill and enjoy some quality outdoor time. Sister Bay Furniture is premium, high-quality outdoor furniture, built in Wisconsin, built for Wisconsin. Built from premium and sustainable materials, Sister Bay designs and builds patio furniture to survive years of Wisconsin weather. That's commercial-grade quality for your outdoor space. Customize your Sister Bay set. Pick from several different styles and colors to fit your unique outdoor space. Need professional help? Sister Bay Furniture offers a team of in-house design experts. They can help you plan and create the outdoor space of your dreams. Don't wait until the next beautiful day this year. Get out to their showroom today. It's located in Sussex on Executive Drive, or visit their website, SisterBayFurniture.com, to shop the entire selection. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Hey everybody, looks like spring weather's just around the corner. This is Max and we're back with another joke of the week. Why was everyone so tired in April? They just finished a 31-day march. Back to the Steve Scaffidi Show.
Oh, thank you, my friend and my oldest grandson, Max. We're not that tired, though. We're ready for the weekend. Easter holiday weekend here in Wisconsin and beyond. So, enjoy the time with family and friends. One of the texters gave me a tip of the hat, which I appreciate. Set politics aside for a couple days. Enjoy the Easter weekend. So thanks to the 414 for that. From the 262, my tip of the hat is to WTMJ Talk Radio. They keep you company while doing my job on the road. Thank you as well. Jeff from Fox Point. I would also like to tip my cap to my sister Susan, who brought me medicine, tests, and groceries when I was shut in and during COVID-19. Yes, good job, Sister Susan. Garrett from Oak Creek. Tip of my cap to my favorite rookie, Garrett Mitchell. Yes, having himself a rock star start. A guest, by the way, on my program from American Family Field on Monday's opening day at the ballpark. One more text before we get to the weekend review sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. No pause, Steve. Big picture, people's choices of who they voted is being threatened. That's from Martin. So thank you, Martin. Again, we don't have to agree, Martin. It's my point of view, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen, as I do everybody that tunes in. All right, as I said, every Friday, about this time, we do our weekend review sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Today is no different. The freshmen roll out the barrels. Donald Trump booked and fingerprinted in the Big Apple. A new face on Wisconsin's high courts, and more. It's the weekend review, as I said, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Happy opening day, everybody. Great to be out here. It's always one of these days where baseball fans, Milwaukeeans and Wisconsinites just celebrate the start of something that suggests, hey, it's going to warm up, it's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting.
Hell yeah! To right and deep, get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! He just hit one out of here with the bases loaded. Bryce Terang.
Garrett Mitchell, center fielder.
I'm feeling good. It's early, not taking it too seriously.
Are you sure about that? Get in the air, right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! For Garrett Mitchell! He just hit a walk-off out of here!
Milwaukee Brewers baseball has been brought to you in part by Miller Lite. It's Miller time. Garrett Mitchell, Woodman's Food Markets, Pomps Tire, and Garrett Mitchell.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
The spring election finally here.
When it comes to the court person, Protasewicz and the abortion issue is huge.
When we got our state opened up, it was the type of people that were in there at that time that got us opened up, and it was a good thing. So I wanted to keep those type of people in office.
Hours ago, her title was solely Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge. Now, Janet Protasewicz is a swearing-in ceremony away from being a Wisconsin Supreme Court justice.
It is the absolute honor of a lifetime to be elected as your next justice on the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Daniel Kelly thanked his supporters for inspiration, but Kelly's speech changed tune with harsh words for his opponent.
I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent, but I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede.
Have some grace. She smoked you big time. You lost by double digits for the second time. You really ought to know how to lose by now.
Former President Donald Trump pleading not guilty to 34 felony charges today in New York.
For the first time, a former U.S. president has surrendered at a courthouse, been arrested, booked, fingerprinted, and has also, less than an hour ago, pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen.
We are joined by Brewers manager Craig Counsell. Look, really forward to talking to you through the season, Coach.
All right, take care, guys.
What did he say? Coach.
It was really awkward calling him Coach.
Yeah,
I thought you'd always go Skip.
As soon as we went into break, Vince was like, God, I can't believe I called him Coach.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson continuing his campaign for upping shared revenue for Wisconsin cities in the new budget, speaking at a listening session held in Waukesha by the legislature's Joint Finance Committee.
You can enable all communities around the entire state of Wisconsin to invest in their core services.
Following the storm, Kurt Sprangers, an engineer for the city of Milwaukee, says more than $2
200 complaints about street flooding were made to the Department of Public Works.
The ground is already saturated, and then you get these additional rain events on top of that. All of that water is running off out into the streets.
The city of Milwaukee is opposing a plan by a local developer to convert the former mall into an industrial warehousing storage space.
A race for village president in a small community in Door County decided this morning by a game of chance.
There was the duels and fighting and a boxing match, and I'm not much for violence, so I said hard pass on that.
Oh, hell no. Ultimately, it was a roll of the dice, 6-2 in favor of Bell.
Are you disqualified if you throw up?
Absolutely.
You are.
And you get made fun of.
Wow! I'm calling that. Wow. Well done. 1 minute and 30 seconds in the books for Adam.
Thanks, Nova.
What a week, huh?
What a week, eh?
What a week. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This is the Steve Scaffidi Show on WTMJ. WTMJ's Jeff Wagner.
I mean, again, you can say what you want about Ron DeSantis, but whatever Ron DeSantis is or isn't, he's not a rhino. Rainbows are rainbows. Rainbows are created by God. You see, and if that offended some people, I apologize for it. People love deals. They love free cheese. There's no question about it. Hey, did you hear that forecast? 60 degrees on Friday, snow on Saturday. Welcome to Wisconsin at the end of March.
Weekdays from noon to 3 on WTMJ.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
You sound unprofessional, you sound like you're from the UP, you sound like a couple of dopey farmers. Oh, the comments we've had.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
We don't want to sound like everybody else. We don't want to sound super professional. We want to sound like who we are, and this is who we are.
You know, we want to have good furniture, makes for a happy customer for a long time. At the same time, we want to have good employees. We want to support the local craftsmen so they can support their families and their communities. Like us or hate us, it's what we do.
PennyMustard.com.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Get ready for adventure with Mega Motorhome Markdown at Campers in RV. Now through April 9th, shop 739 new motorhomes priced up to 40% off across all 37 Campers in locations. That's right, for a limited time, enjoy up to $15,000 in factory rebates on the top class A, B, and C motorhomes complete with full factory warranty. As a special bonus, we are also offering Blue Ox tow bars installed for only $19.95. With prices this low, it's never been easier or more affordable to RV. Visit Campers in RV for guaranteed lowest prices on motorhomes today. Inventory subject to availability. Prices and promotions may vary. See dealer for details.
Your first night camping alone. The new tent, fully set up. Your bug spray, barely keeping up. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free overdraft protection transfers. So when you bought all those supplies and lost track of your spending, we had you covered. You got this with free overdraft protection transfers from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Oh yeah, Easter weekend across the country, across the world. Yeah, I'm excited. I know Tracy Johnson is excited, who's going to be filling in for Jeff Wagner as soon as I get the heck out of here.
Hightailing it out. You got to prep that house for all those people.
Big party at the Casa on Sunday, of course. My wife, Kathy, loves it, so I concede that point.
You concede. It's okay.
And you know what? Getting everybody together on a fun day, you know, a celebration of faith and family, not a bad thing.
Well, yeah, and there are no gifts, so I feel like the expectations...
There will be gifts because it's my dad's birthday.
Oh, we didn't say that.
And cake.
Okay, all right.
Gotta have cake.
Then it's going to be an extra party.
I think is he 87 this year? I think so, 87. Doing good.
All right, so you'll be having an interesting show then on Monday. You'll be rolling in around, 10, 11?
Sometimes I wish that was the case, but you know, it's like I get here really early, like 6.
Yeah. That's good.
So people ask me, why are you here at 6 when your show's at 9? Because I like to meet everybody. I like to have some coffee. I like to chill.
When you have to get your head around the issues.
Yes, you do.
Because you are delivering the news. You're not just talking about the news. You are delivering the news.
You got to know the news.
Yeah.
So what news are you delivering today?
Well, I actually have some information that I have not heard talked about Northridge.
Are we talking about breaking news?
It's not breaking news, but it's a perspective that I feel like has been missed about Northridge Mall. And as a person who works with the real estate community, this is a very important issue to our industry.
Can I give you my take?
Sure.
I don't want you to tell what yours is.
All right.
That's the definition of a tease. Is you got to wait to find out.
Yeah.
Tracy's here noon to 3, filling in for Jeff, who I think will be back next week. It's like, do something with this thing. Tear it down. I really don't. I'm not that concerned about what comes next. I mean, obviously, it's going to be better than what we have now. More safe, less of an eyesore. Let's do something. That's my take.
Well, you forget about the politics of all of this.
I'm not forgetting about that. I know there's. That's why we're not doing something.
Yes, and so I just want to kind of maybe talk about a couple solutions that I think could really work for that area.
Are they common sense solutions?
Of course, it's me. We're talking about me here.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly right.
So that, and then Dale Kuyenga is going to be in the studio.
Are you serious?
Yes, he's right upstairs. So we're going.
I know MMAC.
So we're going to actually talk a little bit about the elections, and not the way that they've been talked about on your show or other shows, but he's got some connections with the Chicago mayor's race, and he's going to tell us about how that could affect Milwaukee. And then obviously in his new position at the MMAC, he'll be talking about some of the state budget issues, shared revenue, some of the other implications of the conversations going on in Madison right now.
Can I just say this? Your guest game is good.
I guess game is good, yeah.
So how many years you been doing it? You did it with Jeff for a long time?
No, just, oh boy. Well, since Charlie left, I kind of went on Jeff's show a couple of times. And then
you're not
when
that
you started.
old, 'cause and you've been doing radio for like more than 10 years.
Not that long. No.
Come
and
on,
it's just
yes,
here
you
and
have.
there. It's just here and there. You know, having a conversation like you and I are having right now is so much different than running a show. And I have so much respect and admiration for what you do, what Jeff does, as one person in this studio running a show.
See, everybody says that, but here's the inside baseball. It's not one person, because I got everybody out there. So they're filling all of that with texts and phone calls, feedback I get on my email at work. It's everybody. Once you make that realization, once you have that understanding, it's like a group conversation, even though you're sitting in a room by yourself.
Well, but you have to have the right bait for people to call. I'll tell you, the first time I filled in, it was for 5 days straight. If 5
Was
days
that for
straight,
me?
I think so. It was 8:30 to noon, and it was over Christmas break.
Oh,
between
that's a
Christmas
tough
and
one,
New
'cause
Year's.
people are busy.
Well, people are just not calling in, and I remember a lot of dead air. It was tough,
All right.
but you have to know how to do it, and you do.
So you got 3 hours, action-packed, guest-filled, smart takes.
Hopefully.
President and CEO of Car W, also radio host, also like a million other things. Mom of Charles, who had his birthday yesterday.
Good memory.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and
I
Zach.
still got it up here.
Yes.
Tracy Johnson coming up right here on WTMJ.
It's Easter weekend. Very special family holiday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Don't cook, relax, enjoy your family, and let the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant serve you. The Good Friday codfish fry is all you care to eat, and it's just $15.99. All other dinners, buy one, get one free. Order your favorite seafood, pasta, big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster. Any dinner on the menu, your second one is free. Free, even on Easter weekend. Desserts and ice cream drinks,